to the new job for Lopetegui.
Well, as the pressure's mounting, that's the last thing you want, is to concede so many goals here at Anfield. They will try and start very fast, and it's a really exciting front line for Liverpool. But what's going to be mentioned for Lopetegui and his players? What style, what can he produce? He's going to have to be creative. He can't just sit back and wait.
Liverpool won the toss. They've chosen to attack the Kop end in the second half. Todibo, one of the new signings. You know, there's so much talk in the summer how Liverpool didn't recruit much. Chiesa coming in at the end of a summer where Liverpool weren't able to add new names. Isn't it funny how they've had such a good start to the season? West Ham have brought in loads of new names, and they've struggled to gel as Bradley comes on the attack. First attack of the game. Down the right-hand side for Liverpool. He's tackled by the byline, and that's the first corner of the match on the right-hand side for Liverpool. Conor Bradley, who's looked really good. Of course, he faces very stern competition for a place in the team against Trent Alexander-Arnold. But whenever Bradley plays, I'm always impressed with him, Michael.
Yeah, straight away, the confidence in the youngster, just darting down that right-hand side with pace, power. Just tried to fizz it across, but West Ham just literally good numbers behind.
Here comes the corner played in by Tsimikas, and it flashes across the 6-yard box, and it goes out for a goal kick. 7:45 kick-off in this competition at the Emirates. Arsenal against Bolton, and a goal. Chris Coles.
Thought wouldn't be in the starting lineup tonight. Declan Rice, Scott Arfield, bad error on the edge of his own penalty area, miscue clearance. Rice swept it into the corner. Arsenal 1, Bolton 0.
And that is why Mikel Arteta's put him in the team tonight. Arsenal starting with a 16-year-old goalkeeper this evening, Jack Porter. I mean, Queefy Kelleher here must feel like a veteran at this stage at 25 years of age. Goalkeepers' ages aren't what they used to be, Michael.
It's not his own. That's 2 nights in a row. It is 16-year-old last night. What's going on, Connor?
Alisson has only ever made 1 League Cup appearance during his time at Liverpool, so even if he wasn't injured, the Brazilian tonight, I think Keller was always going to play. As Bowen comes in the West Ham attack down the right-hand side, closely chaperoned by Tsimikas, and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Liverpool, away to our right-hand side. Lopetegui's out on the edge of his technical areas, bellowing the instructions out there. Fabianski playing behind, very much 3 central defenders. Kilman at the centre of the 3, £40 million signing from Wolves in the summer. He needs a big night tonight to keep tabs on Darwin Núñez. Liverpool have it inside their own penalty area with Joe Gomez, who's making the 250th appearance of his club career tonight. West Ham trying a high press here, trying to force Liverpool to play it out from deep. Gomez has it, playing in a central defensive location tonight, edge of his own penalty area. No rush, rolls it calmly to his right-hand side to Gerald Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa gives it back to Gomez, still midway inside his own half, and now to Cody Gakpo, who's had to be patient to get a start in the team this season under Arne Slot. You know, I think it sort of fell between the cracks a little bit, doesn't get spoken about. It wasn't that he scored a huge amount of goals, but he was joint top scorer at the Euros in the summer, Cody Gakpo, and he's had to wait and be on the bench quite a lot at the start of this new regime under Arne Slot here at Anfield. Here is Darwin Núñez, picks it up, level with the edge of the penalty area. Right-hand side as Liverpool come forward. Bradley with them in support of the right-hand side. Liverpool get it away, though, as Endo isn't able to control, and then they immediately win it back again. Kwanzaa on the halfway line. 0-0 at Anfield.
Yeah, great tempo, moving it around. Forward runs in behind West Ham. Liverpool look confident, but just looking at West Ham now, I thought there might have been a back 5. It looks like it's going to be a change into a 4. A 4-4-2 out of possession at this moment in time, so something to think about. The manager has to affect it wherever he can. What type of changes do we see? But Liverpool have dominated so early. Some great runs, some great creativity.
At the moment, Soler has gone up as the closest to Danny Ings. I'd be surprised if he keeps that position all night, but that will be an interesting one to monitor. Here's Gakpo down the left-hand side for Liverpool, all in red. Tsimikas with him, and now a little cut back for Curtis Jones, who'll play it further infield to Gomez again. West Ham falling back into a defensive position on the edge of their own penalty area. Kwanzaa within 10 yards of the penalty area, right-hand side as Liverpool come forward. Gives it to Chiesa, the Italian international. First start for Liverpool. That's a poor pass, though. Left-footed into the penalty area, nowhere near a teammate, and easily cleared away at the back by West Ham. It is Liverpool 0, West Ham United 0. This is the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, live on the BBC on 5 Live this evening from Anfield. Curtis Jones rolls the ball out to Gakpo, a little bit of a soft pass, which Sofal thought he might have been able to nip in and intercept, but Gakpo was able to react well, and Liverpool hold on to possession. Bradley has it, right-hand side. Back short pass to Kwanzaa inside the centre circle. Under pressure from Danny Ings, he'll turn and roll it back to Queefy Kelleher wearing all black.
It's a good press, good shape so far. Some of the creativity that Liverpool have had. West Ham are just sitting in the shape. Solaire's in that midfield position. Going to try and get some press on wherever they possibly can in the midfield zone, make them go long and diagonal, which is what they've done.
Diagonal to Cody Gakpo, who traps the ball on his instep and cuts in off the left wing. Bowen back working hard, shoulder leans into him. Gakpo goes to ground. The referee says play on, no foul there. Andy Madley in charge this evening at Anfield. Bowen tries to wriggle his way out of a tight corner, but he's given it away to Curtis Jones. Jones tries a little trick, doesn't come off. Bowen sees his opportunity and wins it back again for West Ham. Quick tempo in the early stages of this game at Anfield as Todibo makes a mistake on the edge of his own penalty area. That was too casual as West Ham tried to play it away.
Yeah, very casual. You've got to be certain. People with quick runs in behind you. As soon as you take a touch, you take some sort of chance, the pressure's on you. The press is really quick. Good start from the players, and it's exactly what we want. There's some good players on show. It could have been a lot weaker, couldn't it, the choices in what we've seen so far in this round, but it's been a good start to the game.
Arsenal leading Bolton by a 1-0 at the Emirates. That was a 7:45 kick-off. They'll be underway at Old Trafford, where Manchester United host Twente. There'll be a real Dutch connection across both teams there tonight. We'll keep you up to date with events there. But tonight at Anfield, the first time that Arne Slot has been in charge of Liverpool for a knockout game. This is the first time that if Liverpool were to lose the match, they would be out of a competition. West Ham come on the attack down the left-hand side. Somerville, who's scored a very famous goal here at Anfield in Leeds United colours in the past. He can't get onto it. Liverpool regain possession, neat and tidy. Endo into Jones, back to Tsimikas. Despite the 9 changes in the team tonight, this does look a balanced Liverpool team. But I think that the lineup tonight, you look at the strength of the bench, it reinforces just how good this Liverpool squad was. And any concern about Liverpool not bringing in many new names in the summer is not necessarily a big problem, because they have a lot of big names already here.
Well, that's with the foundations that they had. They did go for players, but they didn't have to rush. They were too pricey.
Bradley down the right-hand side for Liverpool. His cross is met by Kilman just inside the West Ham penalty area. Souček takes it down on the edge of the box. Back to Kilman again. Left-footed clearance up towards the halfway line is straight to Kwanzaa. And Liverpool regain possession once again. Endo scoops it forward. Cresswell, who is a Merseysider born in these parts, controls it for West Ham. Plays a little 1-2 with Kilman. And this is the Lopetegui style. They want to play their way out of the back. Souček on the edge of his own penalty area gives it short to Todibo, and we go for the first update of the evening with play underway to Old Trafford. Manchester United against Twente in the Europa League, and Tom Gale.
Where it is goalless, Connor, but only just. The visitors with a golden opportunity wide right of the penalty area in front of the Stretford end. It falls to Lammers, who's got 3 already this season. It trickles past the far post. United survive an early scare. Manchester United 0, Twente 0.
And Liverpool 0, West Ham United 0 here in the Carabao Cup this evening. Souček in a left-back position tries to play his way out. Somerville gets a little touch too. West Ham finding themselves very much penned in as the ball eventually is rolled back to Lucas Fabianski, who played the full 90 minutes in the last round of this competition against Bournemouth. He has seen some Premier League action this season too. I mean, he's very much second choice to Areola these days, Fabianski, but he came on as a substitute in the game against Manchester City in August, did Fabianski, so he's not completely rusty playing tonight, wearing all yellow. The former Polish international away to our left-hand side. West Ham have possession, but they are still inside their own penalty area, and Liverpool, Michael Brown, are making it very hard for the visitors to break out, and when they do try to, they immediately give away the ball, West Ham.
Yeah, energy levels, that's what is so important here at Anfield. The supporters, Jurgen Klopp put in place for some time. He presses quick, high energy, back to front quickly when needed, but Liverpool have looked comfortable. Full credit to West Ham finally getting a couple of passes. You're starting to see some movement, full-backs coming in the central areas and giving options.
Gakpo in possession for Liverpool on the left-hand side as Tsimikas ahead of him, left-footed cross into the penalty area looking for Darwin Núñez. He's cut out by Jean-Claude Todibo and he shins it away for a Liverpool corner on the left-hand side in front of the travelling West Ham fans who've taken up their full allocation. Here we are at the end of September, and it's the first time this season that West Ham fans have had to travel outside of London to watch their team. Every game they've played, home and away, has been in London so far this season before tonight. They're probably happy to stretch their legs. Tsimikas is getting ready to take the corner. Left-hand side for Liverpool, who've sent 4 or 5 into the box. Soler takes a tumble in front of the goalkeeper as the ball comes in. It's lofted high towards the back post. Alvarez gets a free header on it and is able to clear away for West Ham.
Yeah, the set piece, when you put the team under pressure, expect a little bit more pace on the delivery for me. It's the attacking options, and I'm missing certain ones with this particular team change, and really got height on the side of the Nunes, etc. But Liverpool comfortable, starting to move West Ham around, and supporters have gone a little bit quiet. But yeah, full credit to those West Ham supporters. No wonder they were looking for a trip out.
5 of BBC sounds tonight at Anfield. 0-0 between Liverpool and West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Kwanza inside the centre circle, sends one of those diagonal balls, looking for Gakpo, in around the back of Sofol again, but the ball bounces away from the Dutchman and harmlessly goes out for a goal kick for Fabianski, away to our left-hand side. Well, Arne Slot, 5 wins from his 6 games in charge so far, 12 points for the first 5 Premier League games as Liverpool manager. That is the best return after the first 5 Premier League games of any manager at the club. Slot, who's made a better start to his Liverpool career than Jurgen Klopp did. Klopp, who just won 3 of his first 6 games. Of course, always difficult, different circumstances, because when Klopp came in, it's because things weren't going well under the back end of the Brendan Rodgers era. Different for Slot. He's come into a team that wasn't necessarily underperforming. So maybe we shouldn't be so surprised that he's had such a good start, but he's got to be delighted on his Slot, because you come in, we saw it with Eric Ten Hag, we see with the coaches, if you don't get off to a good start, it's always so difficult.
You're always delighted to get as many wins as you possibly can. That's the name of the game. That's what you've got to do. Give yourself a bit of confidence. The players as well are looking at you, and it's the buy-in, isn't it, Conor, in regards to what you're going to do different, how do you approach this, the team, what knowledge have you got, how are you going to get us to win. When you get a few results quite quickly, it gives you a little bit of time and understanding. The senior players start to give you more respect quite quickly, and it'll have been under pressure, that's for certain.
West Ham free kick, more on a Slot in just a moment. Aaron Cresswell's got to take it. This is almost midway inside the Liverpool half. It's slightly closer to the halfway line than it is the Liverpool penalty area, but only just. Cresswell, left-footed delivery into that box. Darwin Núñez unable to get there. Endo gets a touch, doesn't clear the penalty area. Jota tries to clear away. Bowen hoists one back into the box with his tall place on the back post. Souček gets a header to it ahead of Bradley, but he can't pick out a teammate, and Kwanza is able to clear away for Liverpool. That's about as threatening as West Ham have been in the game so far. Back to Cresswell on the halfway line, who under pressure from Jota plays it all the way back to Fabianski. I think one change with Arne Slot coming in from the style under Jurgen Klopp is that Liverpool have been a little bit more conservative. That sort of non-stop pressure and attacking from Jurgen Klopp has eased up a little bit, and it's been, I think, recognised in the fact that Liverpool are conceding so few goals under the new coach.
Well, I think that is the model, isn't it? You've got to find a way, you've got to believe in what you're doing. But just having a little look at Somerville now, driving inside very quickly, and they're just coming across, a bit of contact. Now another opportunity. It was a dangerous free kick, actually. They kept it alive. They ringed the box. The one previously, you talk about Souček, that arriving midfield player with that height and presence always in and around that area.
Somerville, who was fouled by Endo. Take 2 for Cresswell, and a free kick in a very similar position to this a moment ago. Let's see what he can do here. Left-footed delivery. That's much better. Todibo's header wide. That's a chance. Now he does have to stoop, but he had managed to wriggle free of whichever Liverpool player was supposed to be marking him, and Jean-Claire Todibo might well have got his first ever goal for West Ham there. He skewed the header wide.
Big chance, the delivery excellent when you get another go at it. And Liverpool really high line, very much together. Maybe they want to spread slightly, just give himself a little bit more of a span. The ball's so good. Todibo just sort of arcing his run round the back post and just directs the header wide. He's very low though.
Pressure on him from Tsimikas. As a shot from Bowen comes in from outside the penalty area. I'm not sure if it was going on target, but Caoimhín Kelleher had to be sure, and he saves down by his left post. Tsimikas, who does make a little bit of contact, but nowhere near enough to be deemed a foul. I think that slightly unsettled Todibo, and that's a chance, best chance of the game so far, that doesn't end up at the back of the net. Liverpool 0, West Ham 0. 14 minutes played here, 5 live at Anfield. Gomez's possession for Liverpool. Gives it to the Greek Tsimikas on the left-hand side. Back into Joe Gomez again. Tsimikas, who started last week in Milan in the Champions League. Kwanza with the white boots into midfield to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones starting the first game for the new manager tonight. Gakpo will weave off the left wing. Souček just hovering ahead of him, not lunging in, but making sure that Gakpo can't get any further forward. Endo gets a touch in the midfield, back to Gomez once again, and Liverpool very much hugging possession, as we would expect them to do at home here at Anfield in the opening quarter of an hour of this cup tie. Straight to penalties if it was level at 90 minutes, by the way, tonight, to find out who goes through to the fourth round. The Cruyff turn by Quansah, 10 yards inside his own half. He's looking comfortable and relaxed. A young man with a point to prove back in the Liverpool team tonight. Arsenal still leading Bolton 1-0 in this competition. And it is still 0-0 at Old Trafford. Manchester United against Twente in the Europa League. Quansah for Liverpool. No pressure on him. Danny Ings standing on the halfway line, happy for Quansah to guide a pass forward. Kilman makes the interception for West Ham. They won't hold on to it in the midfield, though. Good challenge, Jota on Alvarez. He wanted it more, he was hungrier there. And Liverpool pick up possession and get it to Gakpo on the left-hand side, cutting in on his right boot. Just on the edge of the penalty area is Curtis Jones. Floats it in, looking for Bradley on the far post. Cresswell has that one covered. Endo picks it up for Liverpool. Cresswell gets another touch. Somerville back to Cresswell for a third time in quick succession. And West Ham do well to steadily work their way up towards the halfway line. And Danny Ings here has got one player ahead of him. It's Somerville, and he tries to play a pass ahead of him. And that's a good stretch by Quansah. And that's the warm applause around Anfield for that interception as the ball goes out for a throw into West Ham. Still 0-0 on 5 Live.
Yeah, initially Jota excellent on the shoulder. He presses so quickly, you never know where he is. It's Liverpool break. West Ham recovered very well. Then they countered with pace. Cresswell initially with that header. Somerville into the space really quickly. Danny Ings tried to set him away. Liverpool did well because that pace was in behind them. There's a lot of space, and it's better from West Ham.
West Ham have conceded more first half goals in the Premier League this season than any other team. They'll want to keep it tight in this opening 45 minutes tonight. Fabianski hasn't been called into any serious threat just yet as a long ball is launched down the other end, and Kelleher comes to the edge of his penalty area to pick it up. Let's go back to the Emirates. Arsenal against Bolton. Chris Coles.
Arsenal still leading Bolton by a goal to nil, but encouragement for Bolton. Another decent opportunity. Every corner they get, they're putting it on top of the 16-year-old goalkeeper. This one fell to John McAtee, 7 yards out. His swivelling volley over the bar. Arsenal 1, Bolton 0.
Thanks very much, Chris. 0-0 here at Anfield between Liverpool and West Ham. And here comes Gakpo now down the left-hand side to Debo, the nearest defender to him. He'll flick it towards the byline. Tsimikas was arriving. Good covering, though, by Kilman, sweeping across, getting there first. And West Ham regain possession. A chance of a break here. Bowen, just inside his own half, up against Curtis Jones. Jones unable to stop him. That's really good from Bowen. He's gone around Curtis Jones, and he's played a lovely pass in field to Somerville, the Championship Player of the Year last season. Takes on Bradley. Danny Ings is offside as he scores for West Ham. Ball into the back of the net. The flag went up immediately from James Manwaring, who's the assistant down below us. So close. Without doubt the best move of the match. But Danny Ings, was he just off Michael Brown?
Well, it was a brilliant run from Jarrod Bowen, and he expected to pass it through the middle. He doesn't. Somerville comes late, overruns it. We just get another look along from our screen, and it does look like he's just in that offside position, but great counter from West Ham, and Somerville's touch initially has got to be better. He gets away with it. Things strikes it home, but flag straight up.
So Danny Ings, who very much would have enjoyed scoring a goal at Anfield at the Cup end too. I remember when he left Liverpool, there was a great quote from Jurgen Klopp, and he said, you know, if you could bottle the spirit that Danny Ings had, if you could share that amongst the dressing room, what a valuable thing it would be. And Klopp had a lot of time for Danny Ings, and it was such a shame that he had such bad injuries when he was a Liverpool player here. He would have enjoyed that, but he was offside. No surprise that Bowen set up the opportunity. The new club captain leading by example, and he does stand out. Here he is making another interception. He stands out as West Ham's best player by far.
He had no right to get into position, did he? Jones was following him, thought he'd got him, then he went again. He was strong as well, low centre of gravity. Just got him the space, but then he expect that pass through the middle. That was what was really good. He's aware, under pressure, sweeps it out wide, and that was the difference in quality. When we're talking about top players or players getting better to a high standard, that was one of them.
Over the last 3 seasons, Jarrod Bowen, whether scoring or assists, he's been involved in a third of every goal that West Ham have scored, which is quite remarkable numbers. A player that certainly in the press was being rumoured drawing attention from Liverpool in recent transfer windows, but very much a West Ham player still, and as I mentioned, made the new club captain in the summer. Free kick for West Ham just outside their own penalty area. 0-0 at Anfield on this Wednesday evening. This 8 o'clock kickoff. Fabianski takes his time over taking the free kick, eventually launching it up high over the halfway line. Souček jumping with Gomez. The ball comes off the Liverpool defender, and that will be a throw into West Ham midway inside of Liverpool territory. Liverpool have won this competition twice in the last 3 years, and that means that they've barely lost a match. The last 14 games that Liverpool have played in the Carabao Cup, they've only had one defeat. As Suchek tries to come forward down the right-hand side. That's a great first touch by him to the byline, and he pulls back across two, and Bradley under pressure puts it out for a corner. Excellent from Sofalo. I didn't think was going to get there, but he made a burst to the byline. He got to the ball before it went out, and not only did he get there, he delivered a dangerous cross too.
Do you know what, you were probably thinking it's just going to run out. Has he got enough pace? I can just look, and he's running right in the byline. Not only does he get there under pressure, it's this little death cross right to the back post. See Bradley under pressure, just guided it wide, but excellent move.
I always think he looks older than he is, Vladimir Sofal. He turned 32 last week. He's no spring chicken, but he's sort of, if you were told if he was 35 or 30, well, no, exactly. I'm just getting in there first. Corner to West Ham. 20 minutes on the clock at Anfield, attacking the Kop end. Liverpool with everyone back inside the penalty area to defend. Here's Cresswell's delivery. Outswinger. Kilman's headed down. Real good chance here. Can they scoop it in? Alvarez, it's in. It's an own goal. Ball into the back of the net. Somehow it's ended up inside the Liverpool goal, and I'm pretty sure it's come off Charles Kwanzaa. The corner came in. Alvarez couldn't get his feet together. If ball was under him, he couldn't get his body right. But 3 or 4 Liverpool defenders in front of Kelleher, and they couldn't get it right either. And it ricochets in like a pinball. And what about this for a plot twist? Liverpool trail at Anfield as West Ham lead by a goal to nil. And we're getting to see the replay, and it is an unfortunate own goal for Jarrell Kwanzaa.
Well, they did really well. The delivery was good, and as the ball's headed down, Alvarez seems to have all the time in the world. He's very composed. A lot of people would have just swung at it. He tries to take a touch. Bradley all around him, just getting as much contact, but then you see Endo just tries to clear it as it just ricochets off Kwanzaa into the bottom corner. Very unfortunate from a Liverpool point of view, but the delivery was good and the composure of Alvarez made it.
Well, West Ham have only had 2 or 3 serious attacks in this game. They've had the ball in the back of the net twice now, and that second one has counted. And Liverpool, for only the second time in the Arne Slot era, find themselves behind here at Anfield. So with West Ham leading here, let's nip back to the Emirates for the latest on Arsenal against Bolton in this competition with Chris Coles.
Arsenal have a second goal, leading Bolton by 2 goals to nil, and one of the youngsters has it. Ethan Nwaneri, the 17-year-old who still has the record for the youngest ever player in the Premier League a couple of years ago, sliding in to convert a Raheem Sterling cross. A nice contrast between the old and the new. 2-0 Arsenal.
Thanks very much, Chris, here at Anfield. Liverpool with work to do now. And that's just disgruntled the crowd a little bit to see their team go behind. Having had the scare from Danny Ings, Liverpool did not defend well in the conceding of that goal. And now they've got to try and come from behind. Now remember, last week in Milan, Liverpool conceded early. They came back to win the game. 9 changes tonight. This has become a test for Arne Slot. Free kick to Liverpool, wide on the right-hand side. This is level with the penalty area that they attack. It's closer to the sideline than the edge of the box. And even though it's an inordinately tight angle, Fabianski has erected a 2-man wall. He doesn't want any surprises coming in, whipped from Tsimikas' left boot from this one. Chiesa is the other player standing over it as a right-footed option. West Ham defending their penalty area with those 2 standing as a wall just on the edge of the box. Here it comes, floated in. Kwanzaa heads over the top. Well, that would have been an instant reply from Kwanzaa. Having put it into his own end at the other end, he heads over the top on the correct side that Liverpool attack.
Yeah, good delivery. Talk about the personnel in the wall. West Ham dropped very, very deep. Goalkeeper probably wanted him a little bit further away. Kwanzaa comes across, gets that contact, but really poor header from that type of delivery, rising behind the goal. But now, how do Liverpool react? They keep moving it around. Do they up the tempo? West Ham will have had a huge lift off that.
Goal kicks for Fabianski away to our left. Liverpool 0, West Ham United 1. Is this going to be the night that the Julian Lopetegui era really kicks off at West Ham? He did get that win at Crystal Palace, but this would be a significant victory if he could knock Liverpool, the holders, out of the League Cup tonight. Let's go to the Europa League at Old Trafford. Manchester United 28 with Tom Gale.
Still goalless, Connor, but best moment for the hosts so far. Diallo got in behind, right side of the box, poked it goalwards. Clearances and blocks fell to Fernandes and Eriksen. Neither could draw a save. Manchester United 0, 20-0.
Arsenal leading Bolton 2-0. Declan Rice and the youngster Wanyeri, who Came out of the weekend. Now here come Liverpool on the attack. Gakpo in around the back of Sofal. Steps into the penalty area. Left-footed cross. Chiesa on the volley. Down into the turf and headed into the net by Jota. Jota jumping with the goalkeeper. Just flicked it ahead of Fabianski. And Liverpool bite back instantly. It's an equaliser within minutes of going behind. Chiesa, who was trying to shoot himself, kicked it down into the turf. It would have been a comfortable catch for Fabianski, but what a reaction from Jota to nudge his head at it, to claim his second goal of the season, and to make it Liverpool 1, West Ham 1.
Yeah, the ball's in behind, lots of space. It's a tight one for the officials, but Gakpo just spots Chiesa as he just comes into the back post, trying the spectacular, like the side sort of bicycle kick into that far corner, but doesn't connect well into the ground. We see Fabianski just stepping forward to try and get to it, but that's what he does. Jota reacts extremely well, just nicks it past the goalkeeper, heads it down into the ground. Liverpool level.
So Diogo Jota, who scored Liverpool's first goal of the Arne Slot regime, the opener against Ipswich on the opening day. He scored against West Ham here at Anfield in the Premier League last season. And now he has levelled things up, an instant response that will very much please Arne Slot. West Ham were only in front for 4 minutes here tonight. This is Danny Ings in the midfield, a back heel looking for Soler. Interception made by Kwanzaa. Nothing Kwanzaa could do about the own goal. It was a strange ricochet off him. And Liverpool will hope that they can settle down now. They've got themselves back. Kwanzaa takes a free kick quickly, launches it over the top of the defence again. Looking for Gakpo. This was the same pattern of build-up that led to the equalising goal a moment ago. He takes a tumble into the box. Down goes Gakpo. I think the first contact was outside, though. Liverpool fans screaming for a penalty. VAR will look in the background. They can only get involved. It was inside the penalty area, of course. Boos ring around the ground because the referee was happy for play to continue. And Liverpool holding on to possession, but are back near the halfway line now. What do you think, Michael? Any chance of a penalty there?
Well, we just looked straight away. That big long diagonal. Cody Gakpo obviously had the space, but realised he'd had joy on the first goal. He comes very quickly, turns, a little bit of contact. What impressed me is how he wanted to make things happen as quick as he possibly can. Really exciting play.
Down goes Bowen. Free kick to West Ham, 10 yards outside his own penalty area. With Cody Gakpo, who's yet to score this season, scored against West Ham in this competition last year when these sides met in the quarter-final. He sort of builds that contact, doesn't he? I mean, so far he's nudging him, but as he goes down, hang on. It's amazing how different angles tell a different story, isn't it? On that second one, it looked like more of the contact from Jared Bowen. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, Bowen steps across, and then I think the momentum coming together. So I think that's it. But they tried to double up West Ham. Cody Gakpo going at great pace. I don't think Bowen leaves a leg out or anything like that. He just stepped in front of him. He travels over the back of him. That's why the referee's on top of it. He thought about it. He said advantage. The arms came out. It went down to the right-hand side.
We've not reached the half-hour mark yet at Anfield tonight. Both teams on the score sheet. Liverpool 1, West Ham 1 in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Joe Gomez has possession at the back for Liverpool. He rolls it to his right-hand side into Gerald Kwanzaa. Reminder of what's coming up over the weekend on 5 Live. On Saturday, we bring you Arsenal against Leicester. That's our choice of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. And there'll be full commentary of Wolves against Liverpool, the 5:30 game. You can listen to both those matches on Saturday here on 5 Live. And 2 live Premier League games on Sunday as well. At 2 o'clock, it's Ipswich against Aston Villa. And then at 4:30, Manchester United host Tottenham at Old Trafford. Here at Anfield, Gomez in possession of the back for Liverpool, rolls it to his right-hand side to Gerald Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa with Soler running towards him, not quite hounding down upon him, but he turns and rolls the ball back to Caoimhín Kelleher. Kelleher, who made his first appearance under Arne Slot on Saturday, played in that win over Bournemouth and actually made quite a number of big saves in the match. Bournemouth put him under pressure in the second half especially. Here he is clearing the ball away from an on-rushing Danny Ings and making the accurate pass to Kwanzaa as Liverpool look to play through the West Ham press now. This is Curtis Jones, still inside his own half. Rolls it to the left-hand side to Kostas Tsimikas over the halfway line to Liverpool's goal scorer tonight, Diogo Jota. Back to Tsimikas once again, and West Ham have very quickly got 11 players all back behind the ball again. Konsa will encroach into West Ham territory, plays a nice ball in front of Bradley on the right-hand side, to the edge of the penalty area, swings in across, which finds Gakpo. One touch to steady, one to shoot. It deflects across the face of goal, and it goes out for a corner. If anything, that deflection might have brought it closer to the target. It didn't steer it away from goal. It's a corner to Liverpool, and Gakpo looks hungry tonight.
It goes out to Bradley down that right-hand side. A lot of players who just come back, circulate it, keep it towards the edge of the area. It delivers really quickly. It deflects out into Gakpo, but doesn't take it too long. Gets his shot away. Jarrod Bowen just getting across, deflects it just past that post, and a big chance. Extremely positive from Liverpool.
Kostas Tsimikas is going to take it, corner from the right-hand side. Here it comes, left-footed, in-swinging. Jota jumps, but he's beaten in the air by Kilman. Loose ball picked up on the edge of the box by Curtis Jones, who rolls it back to Conor Bradley in the blue boots, and then his direct ball is too directed to the penalty area, too high for Konsa, and out it goes for a goal kick. So half an hour played, 1-1. Interesting that Darwin Núñez hasn't. We haven't mentioned his name very much tonight. We've talked about Gakpo a lot. We've talked about Chiesa. He's not been in the game, has he?
Jota as well.
Jota scoring, yeah.
You know, not only for me, just that he scored, Jota. What he's been doing, he's been effective wherever he can, getting the ball back. Someone said to me, be seen on the pitch. How do you know that you're out there? Do something. If the ball's not around you, sometimes the strikers at times just don't sort of get in those areas to be effective. They have to wait, they have to be patient, he has to find a way.
Here is Diogo Jota midway inside West Ham territory. Alvarez tries to hold him up with a lunging right boot, but it's a foul. He stayed on his feet, Alvarez. I do think he was trying to play the ball there, but he got a lot of the man. And that will be a free kick to Liverpool, and it might even just about be within shooting range, probably just at the perimeter of it, 10 yards or so outside the penalty area. But a good platform for Arne Slot's team here as Jota picks himself up off the deck.
He moves it so late, and as he's travelling with pace and tempo, just as that contact's coming in, Alvarez stepping across, he just moves it once more, draws the foul. It's an interesting area now.
I mentioned the distance. I mean, it is a long way. I love the way Chiesa's come over. You know, I'm used to playing in Serie A. We take penalties from way further, free kicks from way further out than this. Tsimikas does dink it into the box, and it's headed by Sofal out for a corner kick. So corner to Liverpool on the right-hand side. But I always think that is, if you ever see, highlights of a weekend in Serie A, there's always some free kick that's closer to the halfway line than the penalty area.
Got to go for it, haven't you? Buy a ticket, Connor. But exactly. Looking at that there, he was nowhere near it. They sort of said, I don't care what you see. But, as he goes to take that drifted ball in, I didn't think it really had a plan in the set piece. So from there on, it was poor, no real execution, no quality, no sort of teamwork that you would expect on the training ground. Maybe you have a few changes, and that sometimes happens.
Diogo Jota's goal for Liverpool this evening. 8 goals now in his last 12 starts in all competitions. And he is very much an important part of the Arne Slot setup here. Interesting that he didn't feature at all against Bournemouth at the weekend. This is Konsa inside the penalty area for Liverpool. If you're joining our coverage late, an own goal by Jarrod Konsa gave West Ham the lead, but 4 minutes later, Liverpool equalised through Diogo Jota. And Chiesa will claim the assist, but in truth he was trying to score himself. Gomez has it 10 yards inside his own half. Again, they go for this ball over the top, but Gakpo hadn't anticipated it this time. That's been a regular pattern for Liverpool, but this one harmlessly goes out for a goal kick to Fabianski. Quickly, Michael.
I tell you who did anticipate it, Sufal. Yeah. He wasn't getting beat on this occasion. He dropped about 40 yards back, and to realise that ball's going to go over my head.
He's got a sore neck from turning quickly and having to run back, so he gave himself a head start there. Back to Arsenal, Chris Coles.
Where it's half-time and Arsenal lead Bolton by 2-0. Comfortable enough thanks to goals from a seasoned regular and an exciting youngster. Declan Rice swooping in the opener, 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri sliding in his second. Bolton have had 2 good chances themselves, McAtee and Arfield lacking the required composure, both shooting over from close range. Arsenal 2, Bolton 0.
Eric Ten Hag could do with the win tonight in the Europa League. Lycos still have about 12 minutes or so to go to the break at Old Trafford. Manchester United against 20. Here's the latest from Tom Gale.
Still 0-0, Connor, but the fierce United effort on goal from a Twente defender. Ball in from the right, which should have been cleared, flicks off Hilgers, and it's a fingertip stay from Ungetal. It's Manchester United 0, FC Twente 0.
Here at Anfield in the Carabao Cup, Liverpool 1, West Ham 1. Bowen plays the ball forward for the visitors to Ings, who tried a first-time layoff that didn't work, and now Liverpool will look to capitalise. Chiesa stopped by Kilman on the edge of the penalty area. And the Italian international for a moment there thought he might have been in. A counter-attack as Ings plays one over the top. Bowen sprints forward for West Ham, but Gomez, who's no slouch, was able to step down on the gas, sprinted ahead of Bowen, got there first and just helped it back to Caoimhín Kelleher in front of the Kop. Darwin Núñez tried a dummy there that didn't work. He opened his legs, Bowman through, gave it away to Debo. Big groans from the Anfield crowd.
He did that twice. He's just done it before. He tries to flick around the corner. Well, there's the third one. That was better, wasn't it?
That one worked.
Through the legs. Fantastic.
It's always good when the flick works. As the ball goes out of play and Arne Slot plays ball boy. Chiesa slow to get up to his feet, having received a knock there.
Good recovery, wasn't it? Gomez, Jarrod Bowen, in full flight, thinking, can he get there? He sees it back to the goalkeeper, but Bowen, straight away wants to get into forward areas, make something happen for his team, but this diagonal's on.
And the diagonal again played by Quansah over the top for Cody Gakpo. He placed it first time back to Kostas Tsimikas. Liverpool back on the halfway line once again. Right, developments at Old Trafford. Tom Gale.
Manchester United won 20-0. Connor, the first effort on target from a United player, and it's Christian Eriksen. The ball's fizzed in to Dalot, left-hand side of the penalty area. He can't bring it under control. The Dane steps in, sweeps it right-footed into the opposite top corner. Manchester United won 20-0.
So Christian Eriksen, who scored 2 goals last week in the League Cup, back in the goals again tonight in the Europa League. As Manchester United lead there. Arsenal leading at half-time at the Emirates against Bolton. And here at Anfield, 1-1 between Liverpool and West Ham. Talking earlier on with Steve Crosswood about back in the Sam Allardyce days, those great battles that there used to be, Arsenal against Bolton. Bolton seemed to have something. They would get under that Arsenal team's skin. And while you were chatting, I looked back and I just picked at random a game that Bolton won, and I looked at the team. This was such a good team. Jaskalainen in goal, Ben Haim, Bruno Ngotti at the back with Campo. In midfield, they had Okocha, Speed, Juff, Nolan, Ricardo Gardner. I mean, what? That was such a fun team to watch, that Bolton side.
I tell you what, a team that you wouldn't mess with as well, because they had character, they had belief, some old pros, some flair, some top quality. I mean, Okocha and Juff.
Yeah. Those were fun. I remember going to interview Sam Allardyce back when their training ground was they basically had a Porto cabin as the thing, and Campo came driving in his red Ferrari, having just joined from Real Madrid, and you've never seen anything look more out of place in your life. Those were rock and roll days at Bolton. Here at Anfield tonight, 1-1 between Liverpool and West Ham. Liverpool, who've gone behind again this evening, but very quickly recovered things. Diogo Jota's goal cancelling out the own goal from Gerald Quansah. Quansah in possession at the moment, bang on the halfway line. He rolls it short to his right-hand side to Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley, who made his Liverpool debut in this competition 3 years ago. It was this very day 3 years ago, a game against Norwich City. And they're just keeping it calm now, Liverpool. They're not trying too hard, is what I would say, in this first half, as they contain any enthusiasm that West Ham are trying to bring here to Anfield today. Chiesa has the ball. He's certainly looking to impress. Rolls it in front of Bradley down the right-hand side. Bradley tries to get it back to Chiesa, manages to do so. He's back closer to the centre circle again, though he's had to veer away from the penalty area that Liverpool attack. And now Gomez will drop a shoulder and he'll roll it forward towards Tsimikas. West Ham are hungry though. Bowen tries to win it back again and does very well, and helped out by Danny Ings. That looked like a handball by Tsimikas. Ball goes out of play anyway, and that is a throw into West Ham. Right full back position for them. 1-1 on 5 Live.
He's getting extremely high, isn't he? Bradley down the right hand side, he's allowed to go. You've seen Quansah just step across. It's a bit opposite really. Tsimikas just not going as far, leaving the space for the 1v1s. That's obviously something that they've discussed, haven't they, to try and get the momentum down that left hand side. Gakpo on top of Soufal, and they have had some great opportunities from that, but Liverpool in build up now are more patient, not as quick back to front. I think that is a notable change.
And next week we'll have Champions League commentaries for you on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. On Tuesday, Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, and on Wednesday, Aston Villa host Bayern Munich. You can say what you like about this new Champions League format. It is throwing up some tasty games.
Yeah, now we've got the head round the draw. I was doing it.
Have you got your head around?
They all come out at once. I was covering the draw and I'm thinking, I was right, I'll see one, and then the next few will come. They all came at once. That shocked me.
Yeah, I'm still not quite sure I fully understand how the whole thing's work. I'll figure out the Nations League first, then I'll go back to the Champions League. Here is Liverpool on the attack. Chiesa inside the penalty area. Oh, tries a little nutmeg and Soufal. He's running on the other side. Brilliant from Chiesa. Soler was back for West Ham and able to clear away. Now that's what Liverpool fans want to see. from Federico Chiesa. A little bit of flair, trying something different.
Yeah, it's nice to see, isn't it? In tight areas, that's where top players are clever. Cheeky little nutmeg, gets the other side, and you see Tsimikas was in an offside position possibly, and that's why they looked along the line. Was he affecting it? When you look over your shoulder, he just sort of jumps over it. At that point, the official decided and was going to put that flag up. But exciting front-footed play from Liverpool.
Chiesa, who I'm told speaks very good English, learnt it in school as a boy, and has been settling in on Merseyside, but in the starting team for Liverpool for the first time tonight, wearing that number 14 shirt, which is the number he wears for the Italian national team as well. Quans under pressure from Somerville here, takes no chances and puts the ball out for a West Ham corner. West Ham, who've already had the lead tonight, could they recapture it possibly ahead of half-time here at Anfield?
Well, you look at the last set piece, obviously Kilman, the target, Cech as well, who was the outswinger. So Liverpool, one on the front post, one guide in that 6-yard area, 3 zonals, 3 blockers, but they didn't manage to do the job. It's a similar setup to before, and we've seen that same quality. First contact's important for Liverpool.
Cresswell's going to take the corner. He is the only remaining West Ham player who was in the team the last time they won here at Anfield. It's a long time ago now, 2015. Here he comes, left-footed delivery, outswinger. There was a good leap by Edson Alvarez, but Gomez jumped just in front of him, headed it out. Bowen tried to volley it in from the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool able to repel away, and then Darwin Núñez fouls Danny Ings, and that's a free kick to West Ham. I think Danny Ings has bought that.
Yeah, but you know what he does as well? He comes out of the sky, his first touch initially, which allows him to then buy the free kick, like you said. Wait for the contact was exceptional. It just dropped as it comes. He's the top of his foot, and it just killed the ball. Then the contact came, he was under pressure, went down, and now delivery from this area. This is a dangerous position. It's got to be on point. They've only gone with one. Yeah. In the wall, haven't they, on this occasion? There's a good gap right in front of the...
This is a lovely angle for Cresswell to try and play it through that corridor of uncertainty between the line of Liverpool defenders and Caoimhin Kelleher, who's standing about 2 paces off his goal line. Cresswell, who is normally a very accurate deliverer of set pieces. Let's see what he does here. Short run up, left-footed, floats it in. Souček was leaning backwards as he got his header to it. Bowen at the back post was closed down by Conor Bradley, and Jota is able to shield the ball out of play on the far side. Last touch off Bowen, so it'll be a throw-in to Liverpool, who survived that free kick scare.
And they did survive. It was a great ball in. It was a little bit flatter, but as the flick comes across towards the back post, it looked like it was going to drop to Bowen. Bradley does very, very well. He's hurt in the process. I think it's on his hip that he just takes a little bit of contact as Bowen just comes across, but it was really good defending, awareness behind him. He realised he had to go and travel. Thought it would have dropped to the West Ham player.
Liverpool 1, West Ham 1, 3 minutes of normal time to go until the break. We'll be back with Steve Crossman of the studio at half-time here at Anfield as Jean-Claire Todibo, the new summer loan signing from Nice, although I'm told West Ham have got an obligation to buy next summer. It's one of those where they've spread the debt, if you will. Todibo, who has made 2 substitute appearances in the Premier League so far. He did start the last round of this competition when West Ham beat Bournemouth in August. He was taken off at half-time in that game, actually. And here he is, trying to play his way out of the back, shut down by Cody Gakpo, and he plays it off the Dutchman and out for a throw-in for West Ham, but they are penned in their right full-back position with Vladimir Sofal.
Nowhere to go now. Really good press, lots of red shirts in and around the throw, but they go long and try to flick it on into areas. And Lopetegui, would that be one thing you sort of say, well, we'll try and play, or will we use that longer throw as such? I thought he might try and play in areas.
Here is Todibo just on the edge of his own penalty area. He knew that Darwin Núñez was breathing down his neck, so he wasn't fussy. He just hoofed it away. Cresswell here, the left full-back position, with a more cultured touch to Alvarez, who wasn't expecting it. And the Mexican stretches and puts it out needlessly for a throw-in to Liverpool. So Arneslot's team recapturing possession high up the field. West Ham did feel a little hard done by on Saturday against Chelsea. They appealed for a penalty when Somerville went to ground. There was a tussle with Wesley Fofana. VAR did check it, but no penalty. And then later on in the game, Mohamed Kudus had the ball in the back of the net, but he was ruled offside. Here tonight, they have had the lead at Anfield, but they haven't been able to hold on to it, West Ham, as Chiesa cuts back at himself, twisting and turning on the right wing for Liverpool. Gives a left-footed pass back to Gerald Kwanzaa. just inside the West Ham half. Back out to Chiesa, who's been left unmarked for a moment. This has worked out well for Liverpool. Now, can he deliver? Chiesa, right-footed delivery into the penalty area. Kilman jumping in the edge of the 6-yard box, wins his header. Somerville in a tight corner will do well to clear it away from there. And eventually the ball trickles out of play for a throw into Liverpool. Attacking position for them down the right-hand side. Michael Brown.
Yeah, it's an opportunity now late on into this first half. Can they put the pressure on? Can they get some sort of delivery? You know, they like to cross it wherever possible, quite quickly into areas, and he's heading towards the left-hand side here. Put that 1v1 as he comes inside. Gakpo, bit of contact, he decides against it. I thought it might have been a foul. He's certainly feel contact as he taps the foot.
Cody Gakpo is down for Liverpool. He gets back up to his feet, but he's roaring at the referee that he was fouled. Play continues. Chiesa on the right-hand side for Liverpool. Left-footed shot, sails over the crossbar. Very Mo Salah body language there as he cut in off the right wing and tried an early shot, almost, not breaking his stride, but he was ever so slightly leaning back as he did so, and that propelled high and over the crossbar.
Yeah, very poor, the outcome from that. Yes, he steps inside, tries to get his shot away with that left foot, always rising. Expected him to maybe use a bit more power or accuracy for the bender towards that far top corner, but there's none of the above, and at that point in the quality he has, you would expect more from him.
Julian Lopetegui is down in the technical area. We just saw him on our screens, and he's sort of squeezing his fingers into his eyes. He looks stressed down there. He did 2 seasons ago when he was Wolves manager, but one of his best results in that job was they beat Liverpool by 3-0 at Molineux. Tonight they've had the lead, but it only lasted 4 minutes. And there have been occasions when West Ham have looked a little bit dangerous, but can they test Kelleher again before the break? We've only got seconds remaining in the first half. Todibo with a header. Curtis Jones was brave. Defender right in front of him, but he stooped his head out and he was able to make a connection. Jota wasn't able to receive it. Now maybe a chance for Bowen if he's onside. Down the right-hand side, Somerville's in the middle, and by his standards, a poor cross from Bowen. It was too close to Kwanzaa. It needed to be just right for Somerville, and that proves to be the final chance of the first half. The referee, Andy Madley, blows the whistle. So Kwanzaa's own goal cancelled out by Diogo Jota. Liverpool 1, West Ham 1. And we've got a cup tie in our hands, Michael Brown.
Yeah, we have. It was a good start from Liverpool. West Ham gradually grew into it. Some good counter-attacks. Somerville tried to set the tone, and obviously West Ham managed to take the lead. The set piece, obviously, it was an own goal from Kwanzaa. Very unfortunate as it just dropped, but Liverpool reacted well, moving the ball into wider positions. They wanted 1v1s, quick diagonal passes. Conor Bradley, Cody Gakpo with the danger in the wider positions. And as that Chiesa volley goes into the ground just in front of Kelleher, Jota just nips in for the equaliser.
Danny Ings had a goal disallowed in the first half. West Ham will be hoping to keep the pressure up on Liverpool into the second period for now. At half-time at Anfield in the third round of the Carabao Cup, it's Liverpool 1, West Ham 1.
Of course that happened to Jarell Kwanzaa, Michael. Of course it did.
Well, we mentioned about him playing a half. Will we see him in the second half? I'm sure we will. He was very unlucky. He's got into some all right positions, obviously not just in defensive areas, he's got into attacking areas where some headers near post, etc. But there's a little bit of space, wasn't there? I think Alvarez does so well in front of goal under pressure from Bradley to be composed. That created the confusion. Endo just ricocheting it off him, and then he couldn't do anything with it as it drops in the corner.
Yeah, let's ask the centre back about that, shall we? Matt Upson, who's with us all night.
He's had a few of them, Steve.
it's harsh on him, isn't it? I mean, Endo basically just whacks the ball at him.
Yeah, I mean, he can't get out of the way, can he? I mean, the difficult thing, I think set pieces, West Ham have looked quite aggressive, look like they've got the upper hand in the set play, so that initial header be disappointed with, but the ricochet off him, you can't do anything about that at all. It's not his fault. He isn't blaming the massage for it either.
I tell you what, Connor, that Liverpool equaliser was probably a good one for non-VAR fans, because we don't have.
Are there fans? Are there people who don't like VAR, Steve?
I think there might be some people who aren't that keen on it. But what was quite funny actually is, I don't know if you saw, but Julian Lopetegui was asking for VAR, which we don't have at this stage of the competition, which was quite funny. He was doing the big VAR box signal after the equaliser.
I was cut out by that though in the last round. I remember being at Birmingham City and there was VAR. I think that there's some stadiums there are and some there aren't. I still haven't got my full head around that. But this evening, look, I think Chiesa will be delighted that ends up going down as an assist for him, because it's a shot that was a terrible shot, but of course it ends up setting up the goal.
The reason I say, Matt, that people who don't like VAR will probably have liked that goal is that there may have been an offside in the first pass which goes down the wing. But who knows? You couldn't really tell with the naked eye. It made absolutely no difference. In a game with VAR, we would have waited 5 minutes just to work out why a goal could be disallowed. I
agree. I like it. It's level. Both players are level. Is one a fraction further than the other? There's obviously going to be some difference, but it looks level, and I enjoy seeing that play on and the play develop. So I'm with you on that one, Steve.
Well, I wasn't giving an opinion, Matt. Of course,
not to bash VAR. I'm not bashing VAR.
Absolutely not.
We wouldn't do that.
What I also enjoyed, Michael, is that Federico Chiesa, after the goal, gave a big thumbs up to Jota as if to try and claim that he meant it.
Of course he did, the experience that he's got. You're going to, aren't you, wherever it drops into that area. Do you know when it come across, I thought, here we go. Gakpo just sends it forward. I'm thinking, is he going to try it? He does. I'm thinking, the spectacular, here we go. That sidewinder sort of volley, it falls into the ground, thinking it's gone. But Fabianski just comes to try and collect it. But that's what Jota does. He did it from the start. First minute, wherever possible, he's a pest, isn't he? Just nicking it from behind the midfield player or off the centre-back in areas, and he just keeps going, that energy, and that's what you get, jumping in and anticipating. He just nods it home, and I think it's just a poacher's goal.
Michael, Connor, thank you. We'll bring you second half commentary, of course, from Anfield. So Liverpool 1, West Ham 1, on course for penalties as it stands. Remember, no extra time in the League Cup at this stage. Arsenal 2, Bolton 0, just underway in the second half. In the Europa League, it's half-time at Old Trafford. Tom Gale.
Manchester United 1, Twente 0, Steve. Christian Eriksen's lacy strike 10 minutes before the break, sweeping home from just inside the box. The much-discussed Marcus Rashford, recalled by Ten Hag, looking very lively. Couple of nutmegs and a constant aggressive threat with the England interim boss Lee Carsley amongst those watching here. Twente, though, should have opened the scoring after just 10 minutes. The cutback found Sam Lammers, ex-Glasgow Rangers, wide right of the 6-yard box. His side foot trickled centimetres wide of the far post. Half-time, Manchester United 1, Twente 0.
Right, we'll have more on that and the game at the Emirates before second half commentary at Anfield, all after the news on 5 Live with Alison Hughes.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Israel's top general has told troops to prepare for a possible ground offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon, saying their boots will soon enter enemy territory. Airstrikes by Israel have killed more than 50 people in Lebanon today and injured more than 220. The head of the Israeli Armed Forces, Herzi Halevi, visited troops in northern Israel earlier. He said preparations were underway.
The goal is very clear: to safely return the residents of the north. To achieve that, we are preparing a manoeuvre, which means your military boots will enter enemy territory, enter villages that Hezbollah has prepared as large military outposts, with underground infrastructure, staging points and launch pads into our territory.
Sir Keir Starmer addressed the United Nations Security Council on this earlier. He said Israel and Hezbollah must step back from the brink of war, and he called for an immediate ceasefire. The Prime Minister's advising British nationals to leave Lebanon while commercial flights are still available. But journalist Dan Harper, who's in Beirut with his family, told 5 Live they couldn't get flights.
I wish I could talk to him. I wish I could say, look, very nice of you to say that. And yes, if there were lots of different flights available, we would be getting on one of them. But they are fully booked, and it's impossible now to get on a flight. We need your help, and we need you to send a flight to Beirut and start picking up British nationals that want to leave.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky used his speech at the United Nations Security Council to warn that Russia was planning a serious escalation of its war against his country. He told delegates Vladimir Putin was planning to attack nuclear power plants in Ukraine. Members of the RMT union have accepted pay offers from train companies and Network Rail. The RMT says it means its long-running dispute over pay and working conditions is over. Labour Party members at their conference today have voted to reverse the government's decision to remove the winter fuel allowance from most pensioners. The motion, which wasn't binding, was brought by the Unite union. And a crowdfunding page set up to raise money for AFC Wimbledon after its stadium was damaged by flooding has received more than £100,000 in donations. The original target of £10,000 was reached within 4 hours.
Matt Shawley.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
We are looking for a member of Matt's Parliament for New Forest East. Mick has got a claim. Hello, Mick.
In 1997, I proposed in a little hotel. I was actually in the bathroom.
What?
We were getting ready for dinner and I wanted it all to be sort of sorted before we went in and celebrated.
Lisa Naddy, Central State for Culture Media Sport.
We're toughening up the system to make sure that people who are unfit owners can't become football club owners.
Matt Shawley.
Monday to Friday from 2
on BBC Radio 5 Live. This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
It is Liverpool 1, West Ham 1 in the League Cup third round. Second half commentary on the way. Manchester United lead FC Twente by a 1-0 at half time in the Europa League. The other League Cup tie tonight is Arsenal against Bolton. We've had another goal, Chris Coles.
And another goal for Arsenal, who now lead Bolton by 3-0. And another goal for 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri, who's having a fine full debut. This one a gift, badly given away by Bolton on the edge of their own penalty area. They do like to play out from the back, but they were caught out this time. Declan Rice laid off to Nwaneri, clean through on goal. Not the cleanest of finishes. Luke Southwood in the Bolton goal got a touch to it, but couldn't keep it out. Arsenal have a third, 6 minutes into the second half, and you'd think that'll be that. Arsenal 3, Bolton 0, 52 minutes.
Matt Upson is with us all evening, former Arsenal and England defender, of course. They like Nwaneri, don't they?
Yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah,
Steve, to be honest. I mean, from what I've seen of him, he came on in the North London derby the other week and was excellent when he came on, receiving the ball in that number 10 position, couple of clever passes, got 2 goals tonight. Really exciting young talent. Great to see Arsenal. And I like the way Mikel Arteta has really heavily involved young players as well, not just in these matches, but on the bench and bringing them on in Premier League matches. I think they've got a good thing going there.
Tell you what, Bolton have got a good thing going all of a sudden. Chris?
Well, I said that'll be that. Maybe not so sure. Bolton have a goal back almost immediately after Arsenal got their third. And this is a really tidy goal. Aaron Collins has it. Well found on the right. He skipped past young Jack Porter. There's no clean sheet for the 16-year-old and finished nicely into the corner. So maybe there is still life in this game yet. Arsenal 3, Bolton 1.
Do you know, Matt, I was about to ask what minute do we think Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka are coming off, but maybe they might have to rethink that.
That could be under pressure. It could be a tidal wave of pressure now to keep Rice on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Are you watching it, by the way? I don't know if you've got it on the screen somewhere.
No, I'm seeing some of the highlights as I'm watching the Liverpool game.
Lovely finish. Arsenal lead Bolton then by 3-1. We've been hearing about Manchester United leading FC Twente by a 1-0. It was interesting, we were talking about Ugarte before the game and how maybe his presence can free up other players. Well, Christian Eriksen certainly benefited from that. Absolutely brilliant finish from him. But the point is, I'm not saying that you can necessarily trace it back to Ugarte in that instance, Matt, but that is exactly the idea, isn't it? He controls the game and others maybe have a bit of freedom.
Yeah, he's in the team to win the ball back, do the ugly side of the game, something that, some of the other United players in that area of the pitch haven't been great at. It's not their skill set, which is, that's just normal. It's up to the manager and the club to find a balance. And I think getting that right balance helps players like Eriksen, like Bruno Fernandes flourish and get the ball in areas of the pitch where they can do damage in the way that they do. So, yes, I think that him being that type of player is key because they've got so many players that are talented with the ball.
Some sports headlines for you then. As we were telling you earlier, Manchester City have confirmed that Rodri has a ligament injury. This happened in the 2-2 draw with Arsenal on Sunday. They've not revealed a time frame for his return yet. Pep Guardiola's just said he'll be out for a long time. Former Manchester United and Real Madrid defender Rafael Varane has retired from football at the age of 31. World Cup winner suffered a knee injury on his debut with the Italian side Como. I'm sure we'll be speaking more about that on the Euroleagues actually. 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Julien Laurent, Guillaume Balaguer and Christophe Terreur will be with us. In cricket, England say captain Ben Stokes is on track to be part of the series against Pakistan, which begins in 12 days. He's been out of action. He got that hamstring injury playing in the 100 last month. On Saturday, 5 Live has got commentary of the WBO World Lightweight title bout between Rhiannon Dixon and Terry Harper in Sheffield. Steve Bunce, Chris Lloyd and former Commonwealth Super Welterweight champion Stacey Copeland are going to be on commentary. There'll be coverage on 5 Live and BBC Sounds from 10 o'clock. And then, of course, you'll have the 5 Live boxing podcast with Steve Bunce, bringing you a full preview of the card and all of the immediate post-fight reaction. The other piece of news, which you will have heard a little bit there with Alison, concerns AFC Wimbledon. Their League 2 home match against Accrington Stanley this Saturday has been postponed because the club haven't been able to secure an alternative venue. Flooding from the River Wandle has damaged part of the pitch. More than 100,000 litres of water have been pumped out. This is a topic of discussion on our 72 Plus podcast with Aaron Paul and Joby McAnuff, joined this week by manager Lee Johnson, whose former club Sunderland are second in the Championship table. Here he is on being happy that his old side have made such a strong start.
Delighted in terms of that they're doing well. You know, I do feel a part of that journey. I'm not staking claim to them being top of the Championship, but great club, really, really good club. Should be in the Premier League, wants to be in the Premier League, needs to be in the Premier League, and will get there because, naturally the size of the place will end up shifting the club towards the Premier League. So, a young squad, a fantastic start, which you often see with young squads. I think their challenge will be in the winter months to be able to, sustain that performance level. But they look like they've got agility, they look like they've got an identity and a playing style, which is good. And a lot of those lads have been together from the League One days as well. So, the thing about Sunderland is when you get momentum, it's really, really powerful. And if you get negative shift of momentum, that can be difficult, if you like, to get over because it is such a passionate fan base. So I think that while it's all going well, it's a really powerful beast.
Lee Johnson there, former Sunderland manager, 72 Plus, out now on BBC Sounds. Second half commentary on the way very shortly. In the League Cup third round, Liverpool won, West Ham won. Remember, we'll get penalties if it's level after 90 minutes. I think Darwin Núñez, Matt, needs to try and find a way into the game because normally we talk about him for one reason or another, but he's been very quiet.
Few touches, hasn't he? I don't think he's been involved heavily at all. It's been that type of game. It's been very much on the flanks, hasn't it? Chiesa, Jota heavily involved through the middle of the park. Liverpool with lots of possession, but yeah, not too many touches for Núñez in the box. But that's pretty typical of top strikers, though, isn't it, Steve? They don't need a lot of touches. Just important ones that put the ball in the back of the net. Right,
we've had so much to get through that it's already time for second half commentary at Anfield. All killer, no filler. Conor McNamara.
Thanks very much, Steve. Back underway. Liverpool attacking the Kop end. 1-1 here in this third round of the Carabao Cup. As Caoimhín Kelleher receives the ball and launches it high towards the edge of the penalty area that West Ham defend away to our right-hand side. Doesn't look to be any changes in personnel over the break. Soler plays a pass behind Souček, and West Ham are going to lose the ball here as it comes back to Joe Gomez at the heart of the Liverpool defence. So Liverpool with Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. Back four of Conor Bradley, Joe Gomez, Gerald Kwanzaa and Kostas Tsimikas. In midfield it's Wataru Endo alongside Curtis Jones. Then Federico Chiesa on the right, Cody Gakpo on the left, and Diogo Jota, who scored Liverpool's equaliser, behind Darwin Núñez. The West Ham team, Fabianski's in goal, Kilman, Todibo, Cresswell, Sofal in defence, Soler midfield along with Souček and Alvarez, and then Bowen wide right, Crescencio Somerville wide left, Danny Ings through the centre for the visitors. An own goal by Gerald Kwanzaa had given Liverpool the deficit in the first half. Kwanzaa with possession inside the centre circle at the moment, gives it to his right hand side. Conor Bradley straight back to Kwanzaa once again. Now picks a good pass to Diogo Jota, who's picked a pocket of space on the right hand side. Now he looks up and sees there's loads of space for Gakpo at the far side. Gakpo in the penalty area, floats it back in. Cresswell gets just ahead of Chiesa and touches it out for a corner kick. Corner kick to Liverpool, right hand side, 1-1.
Yeah, great counter-attack from Liverpool, moving it well. Diagonal passes, 1v1 situation is what they're looking for, but this time Gakpo, lovely floated in swinging ball to the back post. Just waited from the back post to Chiesa, but just couldn't get the contact. Cresswell sees it away.
Here's the corner, played in by Tsimikas, low towards the front post. Falls out to Curtis Jones on the edge of the box. Left-footed shot was always rising high and well wide of the target as well. He shuffled it on his right onto his left boot, but that's a poor attempt from Curtis Jones. He's got 7 Premier League goals in his career, 16 in all competitions over the years for Curtis Jones, but he wasn't threatening Fabianski's goal there.
Yeah, he wasn't. So he was free on the edge of the area. He takes his shot with that left foot, rising right into the Kop, very high up. He's got to do better, but Liverpool's showing what they can do.
Here is Somerville down the left-hand side for West Ham, who are in their change kit tonight, white shirts. Somerville does well against Bradley, gives it into the penalty area. Solis there was poor, then he said there was a penalty off at Joe Gomez. Referee says no and play on. And just to confirm, actually, there was I did speak in error at half-time, chatting to Steve. There is no VAR in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup. It's until the semi-final that the video assistant referee will come in, as this is Curtis Jones just outside his own penalty area. He gives it back to Tsimikas, and he should be able to clear away from there. A little bit of a muted appeal as to whether Joe Gomez had handled it. I think more for the West Ham fans than the players themselves.
Well, it did sort of go up and strike his arm. Whether we get another little look at it. But Somerville initially, really good play. Tried a 1-2 and it's right next to him down the side of his body, off the stomach arm. Yeah, he's not going to get one of those, even if we did have VAR, Connor. But no. He tried to play it really quickly back, didn't it, into Somerville's path as he give and go, using that pace, and just didn't catch it. That's what obviously caught Gomez by surprise.
Liverpool won. West Ham won. West Ham coming in the attack, but they lose it here. Jones on the edge of his own penalty area for Liverpool. Looks up, can't see an easy pass, but he's got the composure to stand his ground, to ride the challenge of Soler, and to give a pass to Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side. Now, West Ham trying to get bodies back. Gakpo, fully 10 yards outside the penalty area. Back to Jones, who started this on the edge of the area. Diogo Jota! Into the bottom corner, gets his second of the night, and Liverpool run it from one penalty area to the other. Curtis Jones had key elements in two stages of that goal, but how calm was the finish? Side-footed into the bottom corner by Diogo Jota, and it's Liverpool 2, West Ham 1.
That's all about Curtis Jones, exceptional in his own half. He takes a chance and glides forward into positions, sweeps it out into the left-hand side, but he doesn't just stop, he continues with his run, gets it back, edge of the area, gets another little look at it, doesn't shoot. It's a clever little reverse pass. Jota takes it in his stride, the ball opens up, and he just passes it right across Fabianski. Great finish into the far corner. It looks so easy, it's not, it's just the execution is very, very good.
Poacher's goal from Jota. Timed his run so well to stay onside. Curtis Jones is going to get a lot of plaudits for this, though. Won the ball on the edge of his own penalty area, held off a few challenges to keep the ball, set in motion and moved. He was involved again then on the edge of the West Ham penalty area to roll the final pass into the path of Jota. Curtis Jones is going to take huge praise for that goal that puts Liverpool in front for the first time tonight at Anfield. The reigning Carabao Cup holders leading for the first time this evening. This was the last trophy that Jurgen Klopp won in the job. In theory, it could become the first trophy that Arne Slot wins as Liverpool manager. How are West Ham going to respond to this? Quite front-footed thinking from Lopetegui's team since they came out for the break. They were up busy around the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Now they've been stung. Here is Somerville, just over the halfway line for West Ham. Tries to go through Bradley, who stands firm, and the ball goes out for a throw into West Ham left-hand side.
It was West Ham who had the momentum, actually, with Somerville down the left, tries to drive forward. It was just that lack of concentration. Soler just couldn't guide it back into his path, and then jumping up in front of Gomez. And from there on, after they asked for a handball, they got counter-attacked quickly.
West Ham come forward, Bowen passing from right to left, Cresswell onto Somerville, who tries to skip past Bradley into the penalty area. Somerville goes down, no freak, no penalty. Play on, says the referee. Cresswell tries to cross, but he can't get away from Endo. Soler comes across as West Ham hold on to possession. West Ham still have it here on the edge of the Liverpool box, but we're going to go for an update. Arsenal against Bolton with Chris Coles.
A fourth goal for Arsenal, now leading Bolton by 4-1, and a first in an Arsenal shirt for Raheem Sterling, made by Bukayo Saka, twisting and turning. His right foot shot well saved, but Sterling was there to prod in. Arsenal 4, Bolton 1.
Thanks very much, Chris. Yeah, that was one of the more interesting transfers towards the end of the summer window. Raheem Sterling, who enjoyed great success working with Mikel Arteta at Manchester City in the past, and can Arteta once more get the best out of Raheem Sterling, this time in Arsenal colours? He's on the score sheet tonight. Arsenal going through, no doubt about that now, with the 4-0 lead. Tighter here though at Anfield, with Liverpool leading 2-1, 2 goals from Jota. And what about events at Old Trafford? Manchester United against Twente tonight in the Europa League. Tom Gale.
We're also in the second half, Conor. Manchester United 1, Twente 0. Both of United's flanks are a real threat. Rashford one side, Diallo the other. The latest has resulted in a Manchester United corner. We've played 52 minutes. Manchester United 1, Twente 0.
Thanks very much. Here, Liverpool fans are singing, their team in front. And Lopetegui's got a few decisions to make. How can he get his team back into this one now? As Indo goes down inside the centre circle, fouled by Edson Alvarez. And that is a free kick to Liverpool, which Curtis Jones takes really quickly. And he's had great energy in the second half. Lovely shimmy to ghost his way past Bowen. Gives it out to Tsimikas, left-hand side. Then Gakpo, back to Tsimikas. Here comes the cross. Darwin Núñez found it flicked away from him. Jota tried to volley it, and he's committed a foul on Somerville in doing so. And that's a free kick to West Ham inside their own penalty area.
Curtis Jones, excellent again, driving forward. That little flick right and left, travelling past people. And from there on, it's that little overlap down the left. Gakpo just waiting for Tsimikas. That delivery into the back post. Somerville is getting a good position. I think he got caught on the side of his head. He wanted more from the referee, but it's going to open up now, surely. Once Liverpool have took the lead, what do West Ham do? They've got to come out of the shape and try and get a little bit better in the final third.
So throw into Liverpool, Costas Tsimikas to take. This is the Carabao Cup third round. BBC 5 Live and BBC Sounds live on Merseyside this evening. A night that started in heavy rain in these parts, but it has dried up. Here is Sofal on the right-hand side for West Ham. Gakpo tracking back, helping out Tsimikas. Holds up the Czech international, eventually runs him out of play. And Liverpool bossing things at the moment.
Yeah, it's a few little tackles now. It's getting a little bit niggly. West Ham is starting to be a little bit more physical. And that's what you've got to do, find a way when it's not going for you. I talked earlier, you didn't know about affecting the game. What can somebody do? How can you change the outcome? How can you put pressure on your opponent?
Kelleher inside his own penalty area gives a short pass to Gomez, and Liverpool have worked themselves into a bit of a muddle there. There was no real danger, but one or two uncertain touches, and eventually the ball goes out for a West Ham throw down the left-hand side. Aaron Cresswell to take. No time to waste for West Ham. Throws it into the penalty area. Souček gets a little flick on. Danny Ings goes down. Was there a push from Joe Gomez? Referee was close to it and says no, and now Liverpool can break. Jota with teammates right and left. Scoops one over the top to the right-hand side. Darwin Núñez flicks it into his own path. Chiesa wanted it to be laid off to him. Few groans from the Kop. Núñez still has it though. Into the penalty area. Tried to pull it back for Chiesa. Cleared away by Soler. And when the ball comes back in from Endo, it's an easy catch for Fabianski.
Jared Bowen's asking for something from the referee. There was going to be a little bit more, but quick counter. Jota sweeping out to the left-hand side, and Núñez takes it. He didn't look too confident as the first touch just went a little bit wider away from goal. And as he squares up 1v1, he delivers an all-right ball across, but West Ham got enough numbers in to see it off.
1-1 it remains. 2-1 to Liverpool it remains. As Edson Alvarez has to stretch for the ball in the midfield, just about continues it on towards Bowen, but then he loses it, and through ball towards Darwin Núñez, just too close to Soler, who can shepherd it back to Fabianski.
He's clever though, isn't he, Jota? He sees that little pass. Not many can do that. Yes, it didn't come off, but the vision was excellent.
Here come West Ham with their most dangerous outlet, Jared Bowen. On the right-hand side, Gomez being pulled out of position. Good cross into the centre. Ings was arriving but couldn't get a shot away. That was really good from Bowen. Now, Sofal, edge of the box, sends in a cross. Somerville tries to chest it down. Smallest man in the penalty area. He's got it at his feet in the penalty area. Twisting, turning, tries to shoot. Too many bodies in the way. There was just no room to get the shot through. But West Ham have just clicked a gear here. They're beginning to ask some questions at Anfield.
Somerville, brilliant. Turned so quickly, trying to get his shot away, and that's the one there, that diagonal pass. It's just let Liverpool have a breather when they were just under a little bit of pressure. Kilman's got to be better than that as he sweeps it out to the right hand side, but West Ham, full credit to him, everybody involved. Bowen excellent, not sure how he even gets the ball across, and from there on they backed it up. Souček in the middle, as the delivery comes across, it just doesn't fall for Somerville.
Can West Ham get back on level terms again? This is Jones in the midfield, challenged from behind by Soler. Referee says play on. West Ham get it back. Alvarez tries to dink one over the top for Danny Ings, but it's not a good pass. Quality wasn't there. Straight to Joe Gomez, who can control it easily. And now Edson Alvarez goes sliding in on Tsimikas, so the ball goes out of play on the far side. Throw in to Liverpool. Left full-back position for them.
It's one of those where you see the forward run, you try and play it quickly as a midfield player. He just sort of catches the ground as the ball just jumps up. It doesn't look great when you do that, and doesn't even travel to any distance.
Final round of the county championship matches begin tomorrow. Yorkshire will be looking to secure promotion back to Division 1. You can hear ball-by-ball coverage of their match against Northamptonshire on Sports Extra tomorrow. Commentary of all games available on the BBC Sport website in the county championship. There's more boxing on 5 Live this Saturday evening. Rhiannon Dixon faces Terry Harper for the WBO World Lightweight title. That's at the Utilita Arena in Sheffield. You can join Steve Bunce and the team for that from 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Here at Anfield this Wednesday evening, Liverpool lead 2-1 in the Carabao Cup. Cody Gakpo is offside though, as he controls on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, he just steps too far ahead into a position. The assistant referee looking right across it. He was just on the shoulder, but the flag comes across, and I think it's the right decision. We got a really good view of it, but now both managers start to show the hand, and you realise the substitution, the quality that's about to enter the field.
Yeah, Liverpool are not going to weaken the team with these changes. Mo Salah is coming on, and World Cup winner Alexis McAllister too. So Federico Chiesa makes way. He has lasted almost an hour on his first start for Liverpool. And the other Liverpool player coming off is going to be Diogo Jota. So there won't be a hat-trick for him today. Jota making way. 2 changes coming from West Ham include Michail Antonio, who has got 6 goals against Liverpool in his career before tonight. And they're also going to bring on Lucas Paqueta. So both sides bringing on regular first-team players here, both making double changes with a half an hour of normal time to play.
Yeah, you see that, don't you? With the weekend's fixtures, what type of changes we'll soon see. How does it affect the outcome? But for West Ham, Michail Antonio, focal point. At some point you see the change, but Ings is being replaced. It's not as if he's going to go and join him and go next to him. I thought that would be something of a positive, but he decides against it.
So it is Danny Ings and also Thomas Souček, the two that have come off for West Ham, with Paqueta and Antonio coming on. And then with Liverpool's Mo Salah and Alexis McAllister on, with Chiesa and Jota having departed. First touch for Antonio is a good one, up to Bowen. Looks like he handled it though. Tries to play it forward first time. Endo lunges in with a challenge for Liverpool. Antonio gets it back again, and he's played a nice pass to Sofal. 2 touches from Antonio since coming on. Both have been really good. Here's Sofal, left foot across, edge there. Paqueta arriving. What a first touch that might have been, but Kelleher off his goal line, quick smart, makes the save.
Yeah, it's a good take, wasn't it, from the goalkeeper? The ball didn't have that much pace in it. As you come off the line, trying to just get in front of the goalkeeper, he steps forward, dives and collects it. It was a good take under a lot of pressure. You often see goalkeepers coming that distance to collect the ball.
I like how substitutes can change games sometimes, and Antonio and Paqueta right into the thick of the action there for West Ham. And it had a bit of a problem for David Moyes last season. One of a few problems he had. His subs didn't make much impact. You look through the whole season last year, substitutes had 3 goals, 1 assist. That was the lowest total of all teams in the Premier League last season. And Lopetegui will hope that those he bring on have a bit more of an impact this time round. As Kilman reacts well to make an interception edge of his own penalty area, rolls it back to the goalkeeper Fabianski, whose right-footed clearance is going to drop down on the halfway line. Antonio jumped but couldn't get a touch. Endo gets it back down to the deck. First ball by Salah is poor. Needed more on it to reach Darwin Núñez. Groans from Liverpool fans though, but then they turn to cheers as West Ham try that diagonal ball again and overcook it again. Kilman kicks it straight into the crowd.
Yeah, when he was making the subs, Lopetegui, you're looking, Jarrod Bowen was the one sort of walking across as if he was handing the armband and said, "That's me done." And he got a quick reminder that it wasn't. He stayed on and carried on that right-hand side. But Michail Antonio being that central striking out to step into the position now. You can hit him, you can obviously bounce pass off him. That's what he'll give you, that threat and forward areas, and they've got to start and do that. They've got to have crosses, this West Ham side. I think the fullbacks need to step out of their zone. I know they're getting hit 1v1s. It's difficult for Cresswell now with Mo Salah.
Right, so Liverpool at the moment with possession as McAllister plays a lovely ball into the penalty area. Curtis Jones tried to nudge it beyond Fabianski, and I don't know if Jones even got a touch there, but Fabianski made the save anyway. It just needed to be guided beyond the goalkeeper.
Big save, wonderful pass. Curtis Jones has now got in that advanced position that Jota was playing, and McAllister just steps into the midfield area, so he doesn't have to go too far next to Endo, but he gets forward. We've seen him affect that second goal, and he's continued to do it. It's a great reverse pass, and the goalkeeper just stepped forward. And then we see a foul on the counter-attack on Antonio.
And a yellow card too picked up by Gerald Kwanzaa, so an own goal and a yellow card for Kwanzaa tonight. He rugby tackled the opponent to the ground there, Antonio. Free kick to West Ham. We'll go to Old Trafford in just a moment. Let's see what West Ham do. Could they get an equaliser with this free kick, which Lucas Paqueta is standing over inside the Liverpool half. West Ham attacking the Anfield Road end. Cresswell has obviously given a shout because Paqueta has now gone forward and Cresswell comes across to take the free kick. What can West Ham do here? They're taking a long time over it. Liverpool with a very high line. Their defenders are holding a line well outside the D of the penalty area. Kelleher standing on his 6-yard box. It'll be Cresswell to take, stabs it into the box. Kilman jumps, wins the header. But then the whistle is blown, and that's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. And we go back to Old Trafford, Manchester United against Twente in the Europa League, and Tom Gale.
Where the home side still lead thanks to Christian Eriksen's strike, Connor, but you do feel as though the next goal could be crucial. Twente are beginning to flex their muscles. Few set-piece opportunities, and it saw Hilgers head over from a corner. Manchester United 1, Twente 0.
Thanks very much. 2-1 to Liverpool here at Anfield. Last season, Liverpool beat West Ham 5-1 here in this competition. That was at the quarter-final stage. These clubs have got a long history in the League Cup. When Liverpool won it for the first time in 1981, they beat West Ham in the final. Back in those days, League Cup finals used to go to replays. It was 1-1 at Wembley. Liverpool went to the replay at Villa Park and won. Goals from Kenny Dalglish and Alan Hansen in that replay. And here tonight they meet at the third round stage. West Ham taking the lead with the Kwanzaa own goal in the first half, but 2 goals from Diogo Jota have turned it around. This is Conor Bradley just over the halfway line for Liverpool, playing from left to right as we look down. Joe Gomez. Soler trying to run up and get in his face. Great confident ball by McAllister to pick out Jones there. That was direct and accurate, and then Alvarez does a very good manoeuvre to tackle Jones and win possession back for West Ham. West Ham are still gritting their teeth there. They're still showing a bit of flair. Soler shoots from outside the box. Kelleher was trying to scramble back, and he's been able to push it out for a corner. And West Ham nearly capitalising on the counter-attack there. That was really good to win possession and turn defence into attack.
Yeah, really quick tempo. Mikel Antonio is using strength, just nudging the centre half out of the way. And Soler getting forward. Jared Bowen trying to get the bounce off the goalkeeper. He hits it really early. He surprises Kelleher near post. I thought you'd probably travel into a better position, then hit across the goalkeeper, hits it near post, and then he spills it. Bowen just couldn't get that.
Yeah, his positioning was decent, Kelleher. It was one of those, because Liverpool were attacking, he had pushed outside his penalty, so he's backpedaling, he's keeping his eye on play. And West Ham trying to catch him out at the near post, but unable to do so. Here comes the resultant corner kick. Liverpool leading 2-1 at Anfield. It's going to be an in-swinger from the far side. Here it comes, left-footed. Plenty of height on that. In fact, it sails over them all. And Antonio's got to sprint out to try and keep it in play by the other corner flag. Near side of the pitch to us, right in front of the West Ham fans. Antonio's done really well to give it to Somerville. Into the penalty area. Mo Salah, the nearest defender to him. Sits up for Antonio. Shoots across the face of goal. Chance for Kilman. Mosby. Oh, he can't get his feet right. And he's not able to score. It's one of those where he's stuck in quicksand. The ball is in front of him. He tries to move his right foot and he just can't get the balance right. What a chance for West Ham. What a chance for Kilman to get his first ever goal for the club.
Yeah, Mikel Antonio does so well. Keeps it alive in a wider area. Flicks it inside to Somerville. He drives forward. Mo Salah sees it. At that point he thinks he's got it, but Somerville just pokes it across. Kilman initially is brilliant touch. Gets into area. Nunes, everybody diving across to stop him winning the ball, and big chance. How he's missed, I don't know.
Do you know what? I've looked at that again, and I wonder, is he more interested in winning a penalty, Kilman, than scoring? I mean, scoring looked the easier option, but he seems to sort of go down this dramatic sense rather than just kick the ball. There's no touch on him. Anyway, that's a couple of scares now Liverpool have had in recent minutes.
Yeah, it is. But once it comes across his body, I see the initial one that he thinks, right, he's got the space, and then, as you said, it's just whether his back foot's just slipping slightly. He can't bring it back together to be able to get another step, to gain momentum, to get his strike, but the net's wide open.
Arsenal, are they running riot at the Emirates, Chris Coles?
They certainly are, Connor. Number 5, Kai Havertz, in on the act off the bench to score. Not the prettiest goal you'll ever see. Shot was parried by the goalkeeper and Havertz waved the left leg at it and in it went. Arsenal 5, Bolton 1, 10 minutes to play.
2 goals from Yeri, Declan Rice, Sterling as well on the score sheet. Arsenal with a 16-year-old in goal, but heading through to the next round of the League Cup as Bradley comes on the attack for Liverpool, and he's well challenged by Somerville. Bradley wanted a free kick there, but it is going to be a goal kick to the visitors West Ham. They trail 2-1 here. Let's go back to the Europa League, to Old Trafford. Manchester United 20, Tom Gale.
Equaliser for the visitors, Connor. Manchester United 1, Twente 1. Christian Eriksen is robbed facing his own goal. It's by the guy who spawned the best opportunity of the first half. Sam Lammers, ex-Glasgow Rangers, makes amends, drives straight towards Onana and side foots it in at the near post. Manchester United 1, Twente 1.
More on that in a moment. West Ham on the attack at Anfield, backheel by Somerville. Crossed by Cresswell and a hooked away clearance just about by Cody Gakpo. He's not got much distance on it. Chance maybe still alive for West Ham. They have it on the edge of the area. Sofal covered and closed down immediately by Cody Gakpo. Play on, says the referee, as West Ham get it back again. Sofal sends it in, hits the arms of Tsimikas. Now those arms were sort of in front of him but not right down by his body. He is walloping his chest and stomach and everything, and he's trying to say that didn't hit me in the arm. I think it did hit his arm, Michael, but it's whether they were making the profile of his body any bigger. Anyway, the on-field decision is no penalty and there's no VAR.
Well, it's good to have a little chat with somebody, is it Lopetegui, for arguing over the incident, but as it goes down the right, Tsimikas' reaction is just saying, well, he hits his chest. So if he does hit his arm, there's a bit of guilt because he's gone the opposite, but there you go.
Yellow card for Julian Lopetegui. Well, no VAR tonight. I think in the back of their heads, Liverpool fans for a moment there got worried when they saw the official walking over to the touchline. Was he going to be looking at a replay or something? But look, his arms are right in by his body. It probably hits his elbow, but that's not a penalty. No, it's not. It hits his chest.
It hits his chest, by the way, and he actually says it. That's what I said. It does it then. Raise to his arm, hits his elbow. Yes, it does.
Yeah, but chest
correct
first.
Decision. Well done, referee.
Yeah, good decision. Lopetegui didn't agree. He was much further away, of course, and his protests have got him the yellow card.
Well done, referee. Yeah. I did say it, yeah, just for sure.
So, corner kick to West Ham. Can they force an equaliser here in this League Cup game at Anfield? Having already led in the first half. Cresswell's corner, another in-swinger. Kelleher stays on his goal line. Liverpool haven't got it out of the box yet. Soler! Right-footed shot, high and wide. Well, it's tricky, it's coming down, he hits it full on the volley, but that's a chance. See the whole goal begging in front of him. Carlos Soler misses.
That's a big chance, you know. As you step forward, you ring the edge of the area, you're just waiting for one of them to drop. And it doesn't even drop high on his hip where you've got to like sort of get across it. It's in front of him, it's a little bit straight. He slices it, he goes for too much power. Poor execution.
He got a few goals in France last season with Paris Saint-Germain. Carlos Soler, that was an opportunity to grab his first goal for West Ham United. Back underway with West Ham in possession, and Alvarez near the halfway line. He'll turn and roll it back to Jean-Claire Todibo. And the Frenchman gives it to the near side to Aaron Cresswell in the bright orange boots, and he goes long, looking for a run of Mikel Antonio. Antonio clearly pushed Kwanzaa there, but Kwanzaa kept his composure and was able to head it away anyway. With Taro Endo onto Mo Salah, one of the two second-half substitutes that will have made today. What a ball by Salah to Gakpo into the penalty area. Sofal's the only defender. Little stumble by Gakpo. Then he tries to cross it. Chance it's sort of gone, and it should be cleared away here by Lucas Paqueta. If that first touch had been better from Gakpo, he might have been in to shoot and establish a 2-goal lead for Liverpool. There's a foul on Jones, is it down there, just outside the penalty area. Free kick has been given the other way, though. It's Endo who's gone down. Free kick given to West Ham. Referee felt that he did it.
He was caught off Mo Salah and he jumps and falls into him.
Yes,
and at that point there was nowhere to go, unfortunately, for the midfielder coming across. Mo Salah not happy, but he's winded himself, hasn't he, right in the mid-drift, but there's nothing you could do. That is a classic coming together because of the incident that happened. Players travelling so quick. There's a bit of a rest as the medical team come on, just have a little look. There's a few stretches, a bit of cramp possibly.
Well, we've got a break in play here. Liverpool leading 2-1 at Anfield. We didn't get much time to react to Tom Gale's news from Old Trafford of Twente's equaliser against Manchester United. So since beating Fulham on the opening weekend of the season, Eric Ten Hag's team lost to Brighton, lost to Liverpool. They did win away at Southampton. They beat Barnsley in the last round of this competition, 0-0 against Palace of the weekend, and now being held at home by 20.
Yeah, extremely disappointing. And expected a lot. You look at the signings, the players, the squad depth now. They've got great attacking pace in wider areas, strength in the middle of the pitch, Ugarte, that we talked about in the build-up to this game. So pressure's on at Manchester United.
Yeah, Manchester United who host Tottenham in the Premier League on Sunday, and that's a game you can listen to live here on 5 Live. Endo's back up at his feet. He's walking off to the sidelines. It looks like he's going to be okay to continue. We have still got 18 minutes to go here. If West Ham did get an equaliser, it would go straight to a penalty shootout tonight. No extra time, as Fabianski takes the free kick just outside his own penalty area. Kilman has it. West Ham, who've shown a willingness to come forward. I think Paqueta and Antonio have just given them a little bit more grit. Can they make it count against the Liverpool team who've been strengthened by the arrival of McAllister and Salah? Paqueta, a good ball out to Somerville on the left-hand side. Somerville, who scored a very late goal to win a game for Leeds United here a few years back in the Premier League. Here's Bowen inside the penalty area. Kwanzaa's got to be really careful, and he was. And even though Bowen sort of stumbled, there is no penalty kick, and that's a goal kick to Liverpool. Bowen sprints after the referee to have a little bit of a word about that.
Paqueta looks so comfortable, upright as he takes the ball, confident, gets a little bit of luck as it slides into Bowen. He wants a bit of something, doesn't he, Bowen? But it's just the strength. There was a little bit of contact around the side of his waist, but he's not getting that.
Kwanzaa's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Liverpool haven't had a red card in a League Cup game in a long time. I think it's 2007. Peter Crouch. Here's Bradley into the penalty area for Liverpool, right hand side, pulls it back. That could have finished it. McAllister, that will finish it. Mo Salah sprung from the bench tonight for Liverpool to give them a 2-goal lead. It was an earlier chance that came back into his lap, and he wasn't going to miss that. Mo Salah, his 4th goal of the season in all competitions. Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. That should be that tonight.
It's what he does. He doesn't need too many opportunities. Bradley does very, very well down the right hand side, fizzes it across, arriving, the timing of McAllister, ricochets off the goalkeeper, very unfortunate. It comes quickly to Salah, but I don't even know the audacity how he strikes it so quickly under his body into the roof of the net. Brilliant finish. Great pass initially from Salah in the build-up. He deserves it after that follow-up.
Mo Salah loves playing against West Ham. That's 12 goals now in 8 seasons against them. And the Liverpool crowd here at Anfield sing songs in tribute of their Egyptian hero. Bradley cutting it back. McAllister, unfortunate not to have scored himself, arriving well on the edge of the 6-yard box, but when it came back to Mo Salah, just an instinctive finish. Fabianski got his gloves to it, but he was never going to keep it out. And it is Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. And Salah, for whom there seemed to be some unhappiness lingering around him in the summer in Liverpool, but he's playing with a smile on his face now, and that's 4 goals for him in all competitions this new campaign. So what do West Ham do from here? You would imagine that's their goose cooked tonight. Tadibo looks to clear away, up towards the halfway line. Antonio being closely marked by Joe Gomez. Bowen flicks the ball forward. Antonio's going to sprint after it. Fresh legs having only recently come on. Somerville's the only man in the middle. Antonio tries to hold it up, waiting for extra support to arrive. Left foot across from Mikel. Antonio's brilliant. Controlled by Cresswell in the penalty area. Tries to send it back across goal. Doesn't quite sit up for Soler. Kwanzaa's able to clear away. Better from West Ham. You know, Bowen was appealing for a penalty just seconds before Salah's goal down the other end. Now the game stretches. Salah brings it over the halfway line. Wrestles himself away from Paqueta. He's hacked down by Alvarez. That's not a good challenge by Edson Alvarez. Chopping into Mo Salah. Free kick to Liverpool. Yellow card for the Mexican. Not a pretty challenge at all. He's made no attempt to play the ball. He's booted Mo Salah.
Mo Salah, exceptional counter-attack. Just a little flick and then he starts driving. There's 3 of them chasing him. Rides one, then the other. He's looking for a ball sort of in a forward line with the outside of his left foot, and that's when the contact comes on. I don't think he tries to really hurt him. It's just a stamp on the top of his foot as Mo Salah plays it across. And because he's heading with his outside of his foot, he comes into the path of Alvarez, and unfortunately, referee right on top of that.
Okay, Julian Lopetegui's going to make a double change here. He's going to bring on Mohamed Kudus, the Ghanaian, And he's going to bring on Andy Irvine, the Scottish forward, who's yet to start a game for West Ham, but he made his debut off the bench against Chelsea in the Premier League at the weekend. So we're going to get another look of Irving as Liverpool come on the attack with Cody Gakpo down the left-hand side. Sofel backing away from him. Gakpo in the penalty area. Intricate little ball to Tsimikas. Tried to pull it back to the edge of the area to McAllister. Too intricate. Too many defenders in the way. Bowen's able to dribble out of the box with the ball, but he loses it immediately. And Liverpool are beginning to try and turn the screw. Antonio tries to get it back. Paqueta challenged by Darwin Núñez. And the ball goes out of play for a throw on the far side. This will be substitution now, double change as Soler makes way for Andy Irving. Kudus is going to come on as well. We're just waiting for the fourth official board. It will be Bowen. So Jared Bowen making way, I think, is a waving of the white flag from Julian Lopetegui that he knows his team aren't getting back into this. Bowen, West Ham's best player. He's plugged away tonight. He's had some good moments, but he has not been able to turn the tide in the favour of his team. As just want to confirm that the Edson Alvarez, it was another yellow card, so he has been sent off. He's walked to the touchline there and he's not coming back on. That's a red card, and West Ham are going to finish this game with 10 men. So 10-man West Ham there. Knight, which was not going very well, has just got a whole lot worse here as Liverpool prepared to bring on young Tyler Morton, who's 21 years of age, hasn't played for Liverpool in 2.5 years, Tyler Morton, but he's about to come on for what would be his 10th appearance for the first team. He got a run on the side at one stage under Jurgen Klopp. Number 80 on his back. Tyler Morton about to come on. And confirmation that the second yellow card for Edson Alvarez has seen him being sent off in this game. So West Ham, who've committed more fouls than any other team in the Premier League this season, will finish this game with 10 men, and you would imagine will exit the Carabao Cup this evening. We've got 11 minutes of time to play, plus the stoppages. Liverpool leading by 3-1. 2 of them from Jota, 1 from Mo Salah, after an own goal from Kwanzaa had given West Ham the lead early on. Here's McAllister shooting from way outside the penalty area, saved onto the post by Fabianski, and Cody Gakpo couldn't follow up. He played it straight at the goalkeeper. Some shot that though, wow.
That's an incredible shot. McAllister's lines it up right-footed, right across the goalkeeper. He dives right to that right-hand side, just gets a touch off the post. Sensational strike in the middle of the pitch. Liverpool now have got a little bit of room, and you can see why that they're taking that sort of opportunity on.
As West Ham have it at the back. Todibo, Arne Slot preparing to make another double change down there. Tyler Morton still hasn't come on. He's going to be joined by Andy Robertson as Sofal backtracks midway inside his own half to pick up possession. And the body language from West Ham isn't great at the moment. This has been a bruising, damaging start to the season. You know, if you take the impetus, the momentum that Arne Slot has been able to gather, notwithstanding that defeat to Nottingham Forest here, but all that confidence around Liverpool with their new coach, and you compare it to Julian Lopetegui, that one win against Crystal Palace. Yes, they won in the last round of this competition against Bournemouth, but they're about to exit the League Cup, and West Ham, it would appear, have more questions than answers at this early stage of the campaign. 10 minutes to play here. Back to Old Trafford, to Tom Gale.
Manchester United 1, Twente 1. Eric Ten Hag running out of time. He's made a triple change on Højlund, Mainu and Mount, off Rashford, Eriksen and Rashford. Manchester United 1, Twente 0.
West Ham coming the attack. Antonio to Somerville in the penalty area, and his left-footed shot cruises across the front of the goal and is agonisingly wide. Crescencio Somerville, who got that goal for Leeds United here 2 years ago that ended what was at the time a 29-game unbeaten run at home for Liverpool. But that opportunity to make this an exciting finish goes wide.
Yeah, Mikel Antonio, good way to pass into the path of Somerville. That far post is open. He opts to use that side foot rather than the laces. With that, just pulls it wide of the post. Big chance. That would have been interesting, even though the deficit as Liverpool make these youngsters changes.
Yeah, Tyler Morton comes into the midfield in place of Wataru Endo, and Andy Robertson comes on at left back. in place of Kostas Tsimikas. Well, those changes are made here. Full time at the Emirates. Arsenal against Bolton for Scholes.
Arsenal 5, Bolton 1. A thoroughly dominant and professional display as expected. 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri scoring twice on what was a standout display. Rice, Havertz, Sterling also finding the net. Bolton, well, they had brief hope at 3-1 with a tidy Aaron Collins finish, meaning no clean sheet for 16-year-old Arsenal keeper Jack Porter, but Mikel Arteta's side always in control and safely through to round 4. Arsenal 5, Bolton 1.
Thanks very much, Chris. Liverpool, the holders of this competition, appear to be in control here at Anfield. Time running out for West Ham, 8 minutes remaining. They trail by 3-1, and Liverpool look in dominant mood at the moment. Morton, number 80 on his back, plays the pass over to Andrew Robertson, who's taken over the captain's armband for Liverpool, and he gives it back in field again to Joe Gomez at the heart of the Liverpool defence. Honest, not able to rest many of his regulars tonight. Liverpool, who've got Wolves away on Saturday, Julian Lopetegui's old team. Then Bologna are the visitors here at Anfield in the Champions League next week. That's followed by a trip to Crystal Palace in the league the following weekend. Big games to come. But Arne Slot will have seen tonight that he's got plenty in reserve here should reinforcements be required in the busy schedule to come. Kilman on the edge of his own penalty area for West Ham. Accurate ball to Somerville, still inside his own half. Then there's a challenge on Irving, which is by Mo Salah, which was late, and that's going to be a free kick to West Ham inside their own half. Michael Brown.
Yeah, lots of changes late on in the game. Liverpool now got that comfort blanket, but West Ham keep trying to create, don't they? Keep opening it up, so full credit that they are doing that, but ultimately they've just allowed it, haven't they, with that Alvarez decision. He'll miss the weekend as well. That's another point. It'll just get worse for Lopetegui. I think what he doesn't need is another 1 or 2 goals, because the judgment there will be really negative towards him and his tenure so far taking over this football club.
Tough game, this football
so
management,
close though, isn't it? Do you know, you look at a fine line, how things have changed in the game, little decisions, and that's something he's got to change that going forward.
He's resigned down there now. He's so far leaning back in his chair. He's almost horizontal. He's like that famous image of Jacob Rees-Mogg in the House of Commons when he's just lying back in the chair. That's what Lopetegui looks like at the moment. He knows that his team aren't coming back into this, barring a miracle, of course. You never say never in football. This is Paqueta just outside the penalty area. Tried to get up to Kudus, but spills away from him and into the arms of Krivin Kelleher.
Kudus, he's a top player, so he can find a space, do something different to other players. Paqueta as well, so they've still got talent to score a goal. The issue is when they do open it up, Liverpool on the counter, they just don't need any more, that's for certain. Cost of the negativity, what it will cause, and when we see anything towards the end of the game to say that they've done something positive, we'll soon see.
Here comes Robertson sprinting forward, cantering forward for Liverpool, gives it to Cody Gakpo into the penalty area, rifles a shot which was on target, and Fabianski had to really stretch across to make the save. That was very direct from Gakpo. As soon as he received the ball, you knew he was going to shoot. No hanging around as Liverpool looked to really put a gleam on this and increase what is already a 3-1 advantage on the scoreboard. 5 Live and BBC Sounds in the Carabao Cup tonight on Merseyside. West Ham, who've just been outfought, outplayed. The quality has come through from Liverpool despite Arne Slot making 9 changes in his team tonight.
Yeah, be delighted, won't he, when you make that many changes. Not what he's got on the pitch. I thought it was a strong side, wasn't it, when you first seen it set up, and they've been in the shape, they've been tested at times, and no wonder with players West Ham have the ability that they possess in certain areas, that team ethic and shape, something that they've got to improve on, but there's been lots of chances in this game.
West Ham, who spent a lot of money in the summer, they have Brentford away in the Premier League on Saturday, then they've got Ipswich at home, and that's followed by Tottenham away. And this visit to Merseyside tonight is set to end on a sour note here, despite Lopetegui's team holding the early lead in the match, but they didn't hold on to it for any more than 4 minutes. Cresswell here picks out a pass to Antonio. He's been very busy since coming on. Inner on the back of Bradley. Antonio tries to give it to Somerville, and off his goal line comes Kelleher, diving down at the feet of Antonio and safely getting the ball back for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's done well, Mikel Antonio. I think it's one of those, the managers come in, and I'm not sure how much time Mikel Antonio is going to get to spend in that number 9 in this game here. I'm probably thinking, could he have started? Is he looking for the weekend? We'll soon see what type of role he was going to take. Obviously, the strength at the top of the pitch, injuries not allowed them It's a full Krug.
Arne Slot making the 9 changes tonight. He's got 3 games in 8 days to come up after this. As Darwin Núñez tries to get into the penalty area. Oh, he's done really well, Darwin Núñez, to the byline, pulls it back for Gakpo. It's not in yet, and it still's not in. Curtis Jones tried to turn it into the end, and West Ham somehow survived that particular scare after Darwin Núñez's persistence very nearly kept a chance that appeared to be extinguished. It brought it back to life. 3-1 Liverpool lead, 3 minutes to go. This is Tyler Morton in the midfield, passing it up to the feet of Curtis Jones, who's looked really well tonight. That's a reminder for Arne Slot the quality that Jones possesses, as Gakpo crosses from the left-hand side and it's cut out by Andy Irving.
He's done really well, Gakpo, very inconsistent. Do you know, with that quality right at the end in certain areas, you know, he could have got himself a couple of goals easily, some assists, etc. He's been involved, that's for certain, but he's got to sort of transfer that into goals.
Salah crosses from the right-hand side for Liverpool, picks out Cody Gakpo just on the very periphery of the penalty area. Back to Andy Robertson, left-footed ball into the box. Somerville, now that he'd a conundrum there, Somerville. He's right in front of his own goal. He wants to get as delicate a touch as he can, and he succeeds in that, but at the cost of a corner. Corner to Liverpool on the right-hand side. Just over 2 minutes of normal time to play at Anfield. Liverpool on their way into the draw, which is going to be made after full time tonight, with last night Chelsea, Manchester City, Leicester and Aston Villa all winning. Arsenal already through this evening. Liverpool on the verge of drawing them, and you know, for all the criticism of changing teams in this competition, time and time again, it's the big clubs who get through to the latter stages of it. Robertson's corner from the right-hand side. Going to sit up for Jones on the back post, but couldn't keep it down. Into the cup.
Yeah, it felt quite nicely. As he just pulls his shirt above his head. He's had a really good second half, to be honest. Curtis Jones got involved. He's one who probably set the tone to obviously get Liverpool towards this win, to have that comfort. And obviously the 3 goals that they've had, but it just didn't fall for him. He tried to get that half volley, he was always rising and just couldn't get over the top of it.
Fabianski takes the goal kick. And this tonight he's, what is it, our 22nd game against Liverpool in his career. He's only ever kept 1 clean sheet, beaten 3 times tonight. Former Arsenal goalkeeper. As Robertson rolls it back to Kelleher, dressed all in black away to our left-hand side. Bradley now, as Liverpool reduce the pace of play to a walk inside their own half. Job done.
I think everybody's looking and saying it's job done. Referee, can you blow the whistle? Can you end it? West Ham dejected again. They're going to have to react. They're going to have to find a way, a formula of getting results. It's a tough cup tie, though.
Here comes Gakpo down the left-hand side. Can Liverpool add a cherry on top of their performance tonight? Darwin Núñez back to Gakpo. Dummies a back heel. Then he shoots. That's the cherry on top they were hoping for. Cody Gakpo, after a lovely little interchange with Darwin Núñez, fires in his first goal of the season. The Dutchman's campaign is underway, and late cheer at Anfield. What was already a good night has just got even better. Liverpool 4, West Ham United 1.
He deserved it on the night. He's been involved in so much going forward in those wider positions. He's crossed, he's looked for passes. This time he's continued, he's stepped inside. A thunderous shot, not across the goalkeeper. This time decides to go near post. The power, the accuracy, near post just beats Fabianski as it drills into that bottom corner. And it finally got his way. We talked about inconsistency, on this occasion quality.
It's his first goal in 8 appearances for Liverpool. Cody Gakpo, who scored against West Ham in this competition last year when Liverpool won 5-1 here at Anfield in the quarter-final. It's now 4-1 tonight in round 3, as this competition that Jurgen Klopp won as his final trophy for Liverpool, well, there is evidence tonight that it could be bearing fruit for Arne Slot as well. Well, nobody's going to want to draw Liverpool in the next round, I'll tell you that.
I think that's a given. Lopetegui getting himself into a bit of problem down on the touchline.
He's already on the yellow. Shot from Andy Irving from a mile out. It's not quite a mile wide, but it's well wide in the end as he looks for his first goal for West Ham. He played for Austrian club Klagenfurt last season, Andy Irvine. Got a few goals for them. But Julian Lopetegui, we mentioned it, we joked a bit right at the start of the show tonight, the way Lopetegui wears the jeans and people think, is he a bit too casual? His body language, once he knew this is gone tonight, and some coaches have got a lot of stick about this over the years, you've got to show you're still fighting for it, don't you?
Yeah, I get that.
It's very resigned.
I understand that, but his side still created 2 chances when he did sit down, to actually come on it. So I've got to be careful. I understand that's his mannerism. Will he be doing the same if he was winning? It did look a dejected soul, didn't it, that he couldn't do any more on the night. I think that red card as well, that sealed it. They had the chances away from home. We've created enough against this Liverpool team to certainly be in a tighter game, and just little positions haven't ended like that.
Here come Liverpool again. They're threatening to run rampant. Robertson shot on target, saved by Fabianski. Comes to Gakpo on the edge of the penalty area. He'll scoop it in looking for Mo Salah. Salah already on the score sheet. Back to goal here. Being ushered and shepherded out of the penalty area by Aaron Cresswell. Salah still has possession, right wing position for Liverpool. Liverpool in red attacking the Kop. We have played almost 2.5 minutes of stoppages now tonight. Liverpool leading 4-1. Andy Robertson urged to shoot from a million miles out. Joe Gomez really urged to shoot because he's, as all Liverpool fans know, he's never scored a senior goal in his career. I make it appearance 264 tonight for Joe Gomez. That there would be a serious celebration if he was to score. As Kudos here tries to put pressure on Gakpo, and Gakpo has gone past him easily, and he shoots and it's deflected, and it's in. It is 5. It's a replica of last season's scoreline between these sides in this competition. Liverpool 5, West Ham 1. It took a deflection, but it's going to be Cody Gakpo's goal again. A second for him tonight. 2 from Diogo Jota, 1 from Mo Salah. A successful evening for Arne Slot.
Capitulation from West Ham. Lopetegui sat down. You talk about body language. Well, his team right at the end of this game have made the scoreline look ridiculous, very damning. Supporters will not be happy as they just turn and leave. Gakpo shouldn't even be able to turn. He turns easily inside 2 players under pressure. I think it's Kudos, and then as he comes across, gets another shot. His eyes lights up. He's already had 1 go. It is a deflection. It does go into the far corner. Quite fortunate, but you get your rewards when you make things happen.
2 goals in 3 minutes for Cody Gakpo. That has really put a gleam on things. It was bad enough for West Ham, 3-1 down. These 2 late goals make this look an embarrassing scoreline now. As Arne Slot's tenure at Liverpool continues to impress. That 1 blip here against Nottingham Forest, but otherwise Liverpool have been imperious under their new coach, really.
Yeah, they have. It's a wonderful start, isn't it? It's for certain. These are the games where you make changes. A wonderful attendance here at Anfield. It's one of those. He'd love to deliver a trophy in his first year. This will be one of the ones lower down, but he'll certainly take it. There's a step in the right direction if he can get one.
We've got Liverpool's next game live for you here on 5 Live, 5:30 on Saturday. Wolves against Liverpool in the Premier League. Earlier on Saturday, we're at the Emirates. Arsenal against Leicester. Arsenal, who have beaten Bolton in the League Cup tonight as well. As Antonio comes on the attack here for West Ham, tries to cross it in from the right-hand side. No teammate anywhere near him, though. West Ham really have down tools here now as they wait for the final whistle to blow. 2 more games to come on Sunday. Ipswich against Aston Villa 2. Manchester United against Tottenham is a 4:30 start. Full commentary in the Premier League here on 5 Live. 2 Champions League commentaries next week as well, as the referee blows the final whistle. One-way traffic after West Ham did surprisingly take the lead through that unusual Gerald Kwanzaa own goal. But once they had got back on level terms through Diogo Jota, there was no stopping Arne Slot's team. West Ham happy to get off the pitch at the end, and that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, an extremely poor second half performance. West Ham had some chances, but they just didn't take them. The red card towards the end of the game and changed so much. The capitulation of West Ham, the manager's body language you've mentioned as he went and sat down, it didn't get any better. Cody Gakpo had all the space. He stepped in, he couldn't believe his luck as he drilled one into the corner, and then to finish like this, 5-1 with several chances. It wasn't just the scoreline. Robertson, we see McAllister's opportunity. There's lists and lists of them. Very, very disappointing. And it didn't have to be that way for this West Ham team tonight. Full credit to Liverpool, they deserved it. They were at it all night.
Liverpool have won the League Cup more often than any other club. They've been to 14 finals. This is a very important competition. Yes, there are other trophies very highly valued, but the League Cup has always played an important role, and Arne Slot has impressed on what is his first showing in the competition, and he's got goals in the team. Jota with 2 tonight, Gakpo with 2 tonight, Salah getting on the score sheet as well. Liverpool fans very pleased with how things are proceeding, but for West Ham it's a different story altogether, finishing with 10 men. They were already 3-1 down when Alvarez was dismissed. They end up losing. Liverpool 5, West Ham 1.
Arne Slot looking very, very happy indeed, walking round the pitch, giving the thumbs up, but the Dutch celebrations at Old Trafford are even bigger. Tom Gale.
Yeah, and they're coming from the away end, Steve. Manchester United 1, Twente 1. Christian Eriksen's sweet strike from just inside the box saw the hosts edge a tight first half. In the second 45, both had opportunities before in the 68th minute, Eriksen was dispossessed deep in his own half. Sam Lammers picked up the Dane's pocket and drove straight at goal before beating Onana at his near post. After a few hairy moments in added time, visiting players, staff and fans celebrate this like a win. As for United, with away trips to Porto next week before they head to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce in this competition, a far from ideal start for Erik ten Hag. Full time, Manchester United 1, Twente 1.
We will be back at Old Trafford after 10 o'clock as well. We'll speak to ESPN senior writer Mark Ogden, who's there tonight as well. We'll focus on Anfield for now as the players leave the pitch. Liverpool 5, West Ham 1. We've got Conor McNamara and Michael Brown inside Anfield. Matt Upson is with us as well. Well, we'll talk about the good from Liverpool in a second, Matt, but goodness me, West Ham, they absolutely crumbled.
Well, they did. You know, after the red card was just a complete hammer blow. I mean, the goal, Salah's goal was hard enough for West Ham to take because it was in a moment where they were actually on top in the game. I thought the substitutions completely changed it. I thought Antonio had a massive impact when he came on, Paquetá, and it had the feel of like, oh, West Ham are going to get back in this. This could go to extra time. This could be a really tight game. And I think they felt, you know, that the goal was against the run of play, but you can't excuse the decision making of Alvarez. I've got to say, both yellow cards were just ridiculous tackles in areas of the pitch where he doesn't need to go in and make it, and he's really cost his team, and he's put a lot more pressure on the manager, because I think the performance in the second half in elements showed a little bit of fight and a bit of quality, the way they were playing through, created a few chances. And then to do that and then it collapse at the end of it just heaps the pressure on even more.
Obviously it's a lack of discipline, that, Michael. And when you are under pressure as a manager, when you're getting criticised as a manager, things like that often end up coming back to you.
Well, it does for certain. I just think you go back to the Salah opportunity when Matt's talking about myself and Connor in commentary. They started to create, they started to bring some of the players on and felt like they've got a chance of coming back into it. Liverpool, relentless though, aren't they? When Mo Salah, when it drops into his path, as he just glides it in. But from then on, it's then about the decisions, isn't it? Mo Salah just takes another step, he gets higher. He gets a little bit more confidence. He's drifting down the right-hand side, challenge after challenge. He's just waiting, he's drawing them in. And all he's doing is looking for that outside of the left foot pass into a forward position to set off a promising attack. So that the natural thing from a player coming over as a midfielder is going to make that challenge is he's going to try and play it. He's lined it up a couple of times. So you've especially got to be careful, because that foot that's going to come out is going to head towards you. And ultimately sort of stamps on top of the foot when he comes across and makes the challenge. Referee, no option, a promising area, and from then on. But it's not just about the Alvarez sending off at that point. What worries you is then the organisation, the determination of what to do next in this situation. And that doesn't set the tone right to go and concede several chances. And it was endless amount of opportunities. They just thought, OK, you go, we go. Yes, there was a Somerville chance as he pulled it wide of the post, but they were all over the place from then on.
What about Max Kilman, Matt? Oh my, I mean, he's such a good footballer as well.
Yeah.
People might know he's got background in, played for England futsal or that. As centre-backs go, not that you're not all blessed with great skill, Matt, obviously, but he is so good, and I had no idea what he was trying to do there.
Yeah, I mean, interesting with the goal. Yeah, I mean, he just couldn't get his right. It was almost like the right foot didn't want to move, did it? You wanted to just like jump. Yeah. It's one of those where your foot's twitching as you sat on the couch, isn't it? Just waiting to stick it in. And He had an indifferent game. I think he's got a lot of quality. I think he's got a real presence. He showed his range of passing a couple of times, some lovely left foot crossfield passes. And at the moment, when you're in that position, you're new into the club, you're a centre-back position, defensively they haven't been sound. There's no two ways about it. Defensively, they are struggling at the moment, West Ham, and it needs something. It needs something to bring it together. It needs to forge a partnership in that area of the pitch. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen any time soon. There's a little bit of uncertainty in fullback positions. You've got Wan-Bissaka coming in and out with Sofal. Which one do we go with? And all this uncertainty, when you're up against it, you're 10 men, you're defending in front of the Kop. You're disappointed because you should be back in the game really, and you've done well enough to earn yourself back in the game, but you're not. Then that's when it really gets tested. And that last 15 minutes, like the guy said, the chances that were being conceded, they were getting carved open time after time, and it leaves a really kind of dismal feel about the evening. And there were some positives for me in this game. Unlike the Chelsea game, there weren't too many. I thought there was a few positives in this one which they could have taken away from it, but it ended so badly for West Ham.
Can we just touch on kind of the body language thing that you mentioned with Julen Lopetegui? Because to be honest, with all the conversation before the game about, he's wearing jeans and that kind of thing, I'm kind of rolling my eyes at it a little bit. Basically because of what, I think what you said is absolutely right. When you're winning, nobody cares. But the body language does matter. It's 2024. You can't just sort of sit there with your legs crossed. I think the Jacob Rees-Mogg comparison was pretty good. He looked very, very sort of I don't know what the right word is.
Wasn't it? Just resigned. Yeah.
Like the bottom lip was out a bit.
Wasn't it Louis van Gaal who got a lot of stick at Old Trafford, that he wasn't sort of animated when things weren't going well, and they just, and whether it makes a difference or not, for some reason it's built into football fans that if your team is not doing well, they want to visibly see the coach actively doing something about it. And even if that is just roaring encouragement, instructions, criticism, whatever, but they want to see action. What they don't want to see is white flag raised, that's it, we're hopeless tonight, there's nothing we can do. Usually if a manager runs out of ideas like that, that's towards the end of a tenure, but you'll have exhausted all possibilities first. Lopetegui, I felt he found it a bit difficult at Wolves as well. This is a guy with a great CV. You look at what he did in Spanish football. He is a very good coach. He's finding English football difficult to negotiate, though.
I'll tell you what he did
was
as
that
well.
right from the off? Was that right from the off in the game? Because I only got obviously snippets of him. You guys have seen him all the time, but it's like he looked like a bit dejected, sat down in his chair. He was rubbing his eyes and had his head in his hands quite early in the first half. And
yeah, once they got behind, when there was level, he was out and he was active. And look, let's be fair, he got a yellow card tonight for shouting and roaring and being criticising the referee. So it's not that he's completely mute all the time. However, that to me, that is an air of resignation that just puts the spotlight back on the intentions and the efforts, which should never be questioned. It should be, of course, they just weren't good enough. Liverpool were really good tonight. That should be the narrative, rather than West Ham gave up, which unfortunately that body language from Lopetegui portrays that view.
There was something right at the end, and I was watching him wait in the tunnel. I just had a little look to see what his viewpoint was, and he was looking, it appeared to look to Arne Slot to see where he was, and he sort of looked and he was congratulating his staff and in there, and he sort of put his arm up and sort of went, oh, forget it, I can't wait any longer, and just drafted down the tunnel. I thought what he should have done is went forward. He should have approached and waited a second, shook his hand, and then gone down. If the cameras pick up on it, if that's the case, I just think it's these little things, that petulance that just gathers against him. We've got to be careful here because it's gaining momentum and it shouldn't be really at this early stage. That scoreline shouldn't have been like that.